wherever you may be watching this transmission. It is I, Mike Martins. It isn't a good day, guys. The day went smoothly. Everything went well today. No complaints, no arguments on my side. Come home to a beautiful dinner with the family, and then come downstairs with a lot of time on my hands to get the show ready for tonight. And my computer dies. That big thing right there. I spent thousands of dollars, solid state hard drives, heavy duty video card to do rendering and to do video editing. Gone. Power shorted, something happened internally, something went wrong. I know that I get a Windows update every 15 minutes and wants me to reboot the computer. I don't know if that's it. So I'm out a complete computer. I got this other computer here. It doesn't work well, but the problem is I need to switch it back and forth. So when I'm done with the show, I got to unplug all these plugs, move it to the other side of the room because I have my printers on there so I could print my labels and my shipping labels and stuff. So like it's been an absolute gong show. I don't know if anything's working. Like I don't know how good my mic is working. I don't know what is. I just plugged everything in and just kind of rolled the dice on it. Anyways, guys, not having a good end on my end, but I'm going to flip that around real quick because you guys are here right now, and my Skype that's on this computer hasn't been updated. So I have Skype messages on here, guys, from like a year ago. And it's not updating my updated list. It's not even updating anything for me. So that's not good. So, okay. Let's start reading some comments here, guys. I'm really sorry. I don't have much of a show prepared. So I have a few links I have opened that we could go. I've been running around like a chicken with its head cut off to try and get this thing rolling for you guys here tonight. So we got the Raven in the house. We got Pure Grosso. We got Damn Slacker. We got Dumb in the Ocean says, dang, dude, I'm sorry to hear that. It's okay, guys. It's just I spent so much money on this computer. The video card, all the stuff I put in there. The RAM I updated. It doesn't work. Just won't power up now. So I got something else I'm going to use for now. Sounds great. Okay, sounds great. How's the visual, guys? Is the visual okay? Can you guys see me okay? Okay, I'm coming in good. Yeah, Trump just banned travel to Europe for 30 days. We got players here that are sick with this new virus. All right, guys. Sorry about this again. All right. Channel plug. Guys, here it is. Join the channel if you want to join the channel. Guys, don't forget to... Let me refresh this. This should be live now if I did this right. Yep, it's live now. Okay, good. I did a few videos for you guys today about COVID, discussing COVID and what's happening with COVID. Here it is. Bear season. Bear market. Bear season. I made this little image, this thing here. COVID is now confirmed as a pandemic. Morning coffee with Mike. Lots of stuff here, guys. Lots of videos I threw up in the last couple of days here. Vacant jobs in big cities. That's a big deal, guys, where people don't have... employers can't get employees. They just can't afford to live in these stupid cities anymore. Yeah. So we got Big Row Bond New Zealand here from New Zealand. We got Rainier Mola here. We got Scotty Morrison. Scotty Morrison's important because I'm going to have an article about him here. Gary Madero's in the house. All right, everyone's rolling in. So, okay, you guys understand the dilemma I went through with this setting this up. I'm really happy this is rolling. I'm reading everything. Everything looks like it's working. Guys, I'm just really disappointed. I'm just like kind of emotional right now. Kind of somewhat disappointed, guys. I'm sorry. I lost a computer, man. I don't know. Spent thousands of dollars on that, and luckily I got this show up and running for tonight. All right, guys, let's go over guys, don't forget to shop Mike Martin's. Somebody came in, I don't know who, it won't tell me who, but somebody came in and bought one of each of my items from the store this morning. I got a message from Teespring, and it didn't tell me who it was, but somebody came in and bought one of each item in the store. And I was like, okay. I bought a few items for myself the other day for, I bought the Lord Humongous mugs. I'm going to mail them out to him. So I'm going to get that straightened out for him. And we'll do that. Guys, don't forget to send me a tip on PayPal. Also, if you want to message me, go ahead. I'm going to leave this here. If you guys want to message me on Facebook, go ahead and message me on Facebook. That's not a big deal. I get lots of messages on Facebook every day. I'm also on Instagram if you want to follow my ugly face on there. Go ahead. Yeah, sorry about tonight, guys. I'm going to start kind of making the show up as I go. And here I am on Patreon if you guys want to support me on Patreon. People are still supporting me on Patreon, so. All right, let's get some articles that I found last minute here. So this is the Australian markets right now. It's kind of important that we kind of follow what's hot. Let's start to go over this right now. What's happening in the Australian market. So we got all ORs down 242. B are down. So look what's happening here in Australia, guys. This is an actual, the markets are open there right now, and everybody now in the northwestern hemisphere is looking at this, and it ain't looking good for Australia right now. There's the all ords. Look at this. Look at the ASX 200. Here it is here. Let's look at it the last 5 days. Look at that. It's just crawling. It's just, look. So it's going to go back. Let's go to the last year. 5 years. Let's see if it gives me the 5. Yeah. We're going to go back to 5-year territory here, guys, from what it looks like here on the ASX 200. Australian dollar is below 65 cents to the strong American right now. So Australian dollar is at 64 cents. You thought you had it bad here in Canada with the 72-cent dollar. Australian dollar is 64 cents. Oil is down. Gold is kind of around 1643. And we got Australian to euro, but I'm just here is the New Zealand, the NZX 50 is down 365 points. NASDAQ was down from today. And the Dow Jones was down 1464 today when the markets were open. So the Nikkei, I think the Nikkei is open right now, guys. It's down 731. So the Nikkei and the Hang Seng too. Holy crap. The Nikkei took a huge beating in the last week. So look at it for the last 5 days. Look at the Nikkei. Kaboom, kaboom, kaboom. We've already hit severely bear market territory. There it is, guys, for the last month. That's what's happening in Japan. They've all at least admitted that they are in a recession in Japan. So at least they're admitting it. They are they're forthcoming with it. And that's really good, that they're actually telling their people to take it easy, stop spending money on things you don't need, and prepare for other things. And we know what's been in the pipeline for the last 2 months anyways, right? Dow Jones down 2250. Yeah, we got it right here. So this is a big deal now for cash and tax breaks for virus-hit economy. Welfare recipients and pensioners will receive a $750 check as part of the major federal government plan to keep the economy afloat amid coronavirus update. And Prime Minister Scotty Morrison on Thursday outlined initial measures of the $22.9 billion package. The plan aims to prevent the Australian economy from entering recession as the globe grapples with the coronavirus health crisis. So, guys, I discussed this earlier with you guys. So the threshold, I'm going to go over here, right here. Overnight, on Wednesday, the World Health Organization declared. We know what they declared. We discussed this morning. So the bulk of the stimulus measures will need to be approved by federal parliament, which is not going to have a problem to get approved. And on Friday, this Friday, which will be tomorrow in Australia, because it's Thursday there now, the Council of Australian Governments will meet to discuss the stimulus plans of the states and territories, which will be on top of the federal government's plan. So, guys, this is a pretty big deal because you could see it right now affecting their dollar. So their dollar, the Australian dollar, will be affected by this easily. So there's the dollar in the last 5 days, right? There's the dollar in the last month. They were sitting at roughly a 70-cent dollar, and they're at 64 cents right now. And the dollar is going to keep. If they keep injecting stimulus, it will weaken against the American dollar. They'll basically deleverage their own currency. So I wanted to throw that out there. Then I have stock
All right, welcome back to the final
Dow drops 1,400 points, bringing it into a bear market. I covered that today. Stimulus package I covered today. Then we have some Canadian home renovations to rise, funded by HELOCs and refinancing. Again, people are tapping into their home equity so they could allow themselves to do renovations on their homes. Canadian consumer debt falls to the lowest level in 6 months. People aren't borrowing in consumer, so that means people aren't buying their blenders and dishwashers anymore on credit. Canadian reverse mortgage debt tops $4 billion for the first time ever, so people are borrowing more against property again and using their homes as ATM machines. And Canadian insolvencies rip higher, with Ontario seeing the fastest growth. So we're seeing huge Canadian households basically, and businesses are basically underwater. They can't get themselves above water, and they're having a really tough time. Canada's GDP per capita just dropped for a second consecutive quarter, and that's not good because that just pushes us further and further towards a third world economy, which I think we're in, but they've just been masking it real good. You know what I'm saying? So that's that. I kind of wanted to rip that for you guys and kind of get it up to speed with what's happening here, guys. Canadian household HELOC debt is barely growing. Canadian mortgage credit is growing at the fastest rate in almost 2 years. So that's that. All right, let's get Steve the plumber. Steve wanted to, Italian mortgages in one pocket, out the other. So in the first, we know what's happening here in Italy. Here it is. Italy suspend mortgage payments amid outbreak. So they're kind of telling people to stay home, and this is becoming a major issue. Wow, I'm so happy I got the show up and running. If you're just tuning in, guys, I'm really sorry about this, guys. The show is very ill prepared tonight. I'm really sorry about that, guys. I'm very happy, though, that I got this all working here. I'm somewhat disappointed. Computer right there on the ground. That's a lot of money invested in that thing. And I'm just very disappointed that the power went out, something short-circuited in the system, and this stupid Windows needs to update every day and restart the computer and stupid crap like that. It wouldn't surprise me. It's nothing I did. I wouldn't surprise me if it's with these stupid updates every 5 hours. And my phone every 5 hours. Oh, we need to update your phone. Why? It works. Anyways, let's get Steve the plumber on the phone here. Let me see if I can get him working here. No connection, Steve. Where are you, buddy? Yeah, Steve's not available. I hope he's okay. So we got people in the comments rolling already. Thanks, guys, for joining tonight's show. Kind of disappointed. Just everything just fell apart last minute. Luckily, I had a backup computer. It's making a bit of noise. I don't know if it's the fan making noise there, but I don't know what it is. But so I don't have any updated. None of my contacts here, guys, unfortunately, are updated. So I don't know who's who on here on my Skype. So it's gonna be a really, really, really tough. It's gonna be tough for me to crack this because I got I don't know who is who on here because my Skype for some reason has not updated. I still have a Skype from 2 years ago on here. So, all right. Okay, what do we got here? Scotty Morrison says not available for 20 minutes. Pure Grosso says the NBA to suspend season following tonight's games. Let's look that up, guys. That's kind of important because that's a lot of revenue. But you know what? Why is this stupid thing? Why are you opening for? Why are you opening for? Anyways, all right. Let's go to here. Let's go to here and an NBA. Oops. NBA suspends games. News. NBA suspends what season? What? NBA suspends season due to the league had discussed playing empty arena games. The NBA has suspended its season due to the novel COVID outbreak. The announcer came after a confusing mid-game suspension of play between the Utah Jazz, Oklahoma City Thunder. The NBA announced a player tested positive for COVID and said it will now be indefinitely halting games following Wednesday's night schedule. The NBA announced that the player for the Utah Jazz has preliminary tested positive for COVID. The league said in a statement the test result was reported shortly prior to the tip-off of tonight's game between the Jazz and Oklahoma City Thunder and Chesapeake Energy area. At that time, tonight's game was canceled. The affected player was not in the arena. Oh. On Wednesday, Golden State Warriors guard Stephen Curry responded to reports of the games at the Chase Center in San Francisco would be played without fans after the mayor banned gatherings with over 1,000 people. Oh, man. Most NBA teams have about 15 to 20 games left in the regular season, was set to end April 15th, with the playoffs to begin in 3 days later. The NCAA said earlier in the day all of its basketball tournament games would be played without fans. Oh my God. Imagine going to an NCAA college March Madness game with no people. The whole point is when they shout, when the guy's on the 3-point line ready to throw and everyone's like, 3. Everyone shouts 3. That's pretty bad. That is pretty bad. Let me see who I could find here on my Skype. Unfortunately, I don't know who is who on here. So, let me see who I have here. Okay, let me see if I can get a hold of Supreme Cannon. I'm not sure if this is up to date. No, it's not as up to date. So let's see what happens here. Hello? Hello? Oh, man, I hope my Skype's not... Supreme, are you there, buddy? I'm not getting no audio. I really hope my Skype... I really hope my Skype isn't down. Oh, no. Like I said, guys, I had to switch computers around to get this show on the road tonight. And I just really hope it's Supreme's computer again, like usual. Let's see if it rings. Supreme, are you there? Yeah, I'm not getting anything with him. Okay. I really hope it's his computer because I can't afford not to have a Skype going because... Wow, this is turning into madness, guys. You would think you spent thousands of dollars on a computer. It would actually last longer than 3 months. Let's see what happens. Supreme?
Hey, Mikey, how you doing?
Good, how you doing? Can you guys hear him on that end? Let me know. Go ahead, buddy. Speak.
Hi, testing, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, sorry, I was away from the headset.
Okay. So I'm having a lot of issues here with what happened was my main computer died.
Oh, isn't that handy?
Yeah, I'm getting ready to come down, set up the show. I pushed a button, it just flashes.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, and then I go, what? I spent thousands of dollars on this thing, new video card, new this. Remember people were sending me money through PayPal?
Yeah.
I spent all that money to upgrade the computer, upgrade the RAM, upgrade the video card, solid state hard drive. I'm talking I went through the whole 9 yards, okay? And it doesn't start. I have it back here right behind me. And man, am I ever disappointed, my friend. You have no idea how disappointed I am right now.
Oh, no kidding.
I'm very disappointed.
Yeah, usually, I mean, electronics could be finicky, but usually he's... Oh, are you still there?
I'm right here, yeah.
Oh, okay, all right, just checking.
I'm right here. I'm not sure what's going on, so I'm using this other computer here just to get this thing rolling for tonight. But man, I spent it's just when you put so much into a project to make sure you got a good thing for the people that are watching and making sure you got a good stream going, everything's good. You're making sure you're up to date with all your software and making sure you're learning all this different. You saw how much windows I have open on the side when I'm running this thing, right?
Oh yeah, you got half a dozen sometimes, yeah.
And then now I have, remember that screen that had a crack on it? That one took a dump this morning.
Oh, so, yeah, figures, yeah.
Yeah, so it's one after another. So, okay, bud, what's going on with this? They're suspending games now for the flu. I mean, give me a break. Everyone that believed that this was a flu and there's nothing to worry about, I don't know. I don't know. Should people start worrying now, or should people start preparing? Or is this still the flu? Because in Canada... The news, they're making it seem like there's nothing to see here again. They're still playing that there's nothing to see here.
Yeah. No, the time to worry was a month ago, right? The time for panic was 2 weeks ago. And I'm not trying to be inflammatory saying that, okay? Walk, don't run. But if you haven't got what you need to stay locked down for a month, go get it. Like, literally turn off the show and get it tonight. Go get it. Because we're going to get surprises.
Yeah, we're gonna.
Trump, Europe, people, not cargo. Yeah, because a lot of their pharmaceuticals are probably going to be coming from there, right? So that's going to affect. Yeah,
I had somebody I spoke to that's working on the docks, and he's telling me there's nothing coming in from China for the last month and a half. Nothing, no production.
Yeah, I've seen video of the LA container ports, and yeah, there's the yards are empty. There's usually stacks of cans, and there's nothing, right? Oh, there's a bit here and there, and there's still trucks picking up stuff and moving them, but bringing mostly empty stuff back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, there's no production from China. 30% of production is coming from there, right? I mean, it's not all, but a lot of that includes components for factories, and it also includes supplies for retailers, big and small, all over North America.
Dude, if you're missing a specific, let's say, a ball joint for a vehicle and it's made in China but then assembled in Japan, if you're missing like a key like transmission part, you're still the car won't the car won't or the vehicle or the operating machine that you're trying to assemble won't work without specific parts.
That's the problem. Yeah, for want of a nail, the horse was lost, and that whole cascading thing, and for want of a horseshoe nail, the kingdom was lost, right? Because the battle was lost, kind of a thing. Yeah, you're going to get if you can't get a ball joint and it's back ordered, and there's no alternate supply anywhere in North America, you're down. You're either gonna go rent something else or borrow something off your brother-in-law so you can keep going, or yeah, you might as well just go home and wait it out, because there's not much you can do. Lots of restaurants, hairdressers, obviously hair salons, massage parlors, and the people that do that door to door kind of a thing. A lot of construction, anywhere where you've got a good sized crew, right, where you're not working independently. All kinds of gatherings. The health minister of Florence, I think, one of those Italian provinces that was locked down. He passed away at 67 today from respiratory failure. Tom Hanks and his wife are in Australia. They just tested positive. I just saw it on Twitter 20 minutes ago. For COVID, yeah. Yeah, they felt like a flu, said, okay, well, in view of what's going on, we'll go get ourselves tested, and they got it.
They got COVID, yeah.
They got COVID,
I told you, once it starts hitting celebrities, then that's when the poop starts really hitting the fan.
Well, now you've got publicity, and that's the thing. There's a lot of people, it's the economy, stupid. Still, that kind of mindset. They don't want to hear stuff like that because they're lizard people, man. I mean, you've got to. You've got to prepare. You've got to think about yourself. You also have to think about the people around you that aren't preparing. Sorry to lay that on you. You're going to do the best you can, okay? And you're be prepared to share with the people you care about. But there's lots of people they run a just-in-time inventory in the refrigerator and cupboards too. If they don't eat out every day, kind of a thing. They're not going to be ready, because it's entirely possible that if it gets to a panic stage, you're going to be, it's going to come hard and fast, just like it did in Wuhan. The one day they're just going to say, okay, we'll figure it out later. You got to go home. You got to go home right now.
Yeah, that's scary, dude.
Yeah.
All right. So
yeah, it is. It's not good. It's a clown show.
It's definitely a clown show. So, okay, now let's get to housing. What's going to happen with housing now? Now, I did a video, and I think I'm 100%. Put my stamp of approval on it. That it's official. The Australian housing market is complete. It's done. It's finished in Australia. It's over. The game is over. Their dollar's devaluing. They're at 64 or 63 cent dollar right now. They're going to inject more stimulus. This is a huge deal. And now they're going to be giving a little bit more extra money to people on welfare and on benefits or whatever, just to help them hold themselves over. Dude, could we admit that it's over there, or what?
Oh, there's going to be people beating the drum, even while the for sale signs are going up like mushrooms after a spring rain, Mike, that. But the reality is, with the with just basic trade, basic transactions locking up, buyers and sellers of everything, creditors and lenders not able to service their debts. The only way that I can see them forestalling a crash in a case like that is they're going to have to declare some kind of payment holiday, some kind of jubilee,
like they're doing in Italy.
Like they're doing in Italy. For 30 days, you don't have to pay your bills, and that applies to everybody up the chain. You're good. Stay where you are. They're not going to let people fall behind. They need to do it anyway, because part of the reason that people are going to try to break quarantine is because they got bills to pay. Right? So you've got to remove that. Yeah, housing is finished. Raven, I agree. It should have been a long time ago. We've been waiting.
We shouldn't be having this show today. This show should be called something else today, because the housing market should have reset a long time ago.
Yeah, trends in the smoking housing crater.
Lowering rates, doing all this crap all these years, and
Yeah, well, we knew it was coming, right? I mean, you've been hammering on preparation and getting out of harm's way, and we've all been doing that for quite a while,
Mm-hmm.
right? I mean, well, I've been interacting with you on the show for just over a year, Mike. Yeah, it's something that you needed to be doing. You needed to be at a dead run to get ready for a crash that we were waiting to happen. Yeah, this is the pin that pops the bubble. This is the thing that causes the cascading defaults that we've all been waiting. It won't be the sudden stop financial jammer that 2008 was, but as soon as one thing locks up, then everybody down the chain is going to realize that it's coming for them next, and they're not going to be able to get out of the way. Raven could probably relate. It'd be like standing on the railroad track. You got one foot nailed to the middle. You're running around in circles, right? You might be able to save most of you, but you're going to lose something.
So
Even if you
let me ask a question. On the coast in Vancouver, there's been
Sure.
rumors that there might be some sort of stimulus. There might be uh, there might be some sort of stimulus for homeowners, and they might have that holiday like you said, and there's rumors already floating around about that. So they're preparing well in advance to try to keep this propped up Mickey Mouse embarrassment that we have going on as an economy. It's an absolute disgusting embarrassment.
It really is, yeah. It reminds me. Remember that old game called Mousetrap?
Yes, it never worked.
Remember? Yeah, it never worked. That's right. Yeah, in theory it would work, but yeah, you'd roll and you try to get all the pieces to put this stupid thing together, right? Yeah. Well, that's basically a modern economy. Just because of all the outsourcing, right? I mean, your supply chains are literally all over the world, and now they're locked up solid. The things that you need to continue to produce are on the other side of the world, and the people that you need to buy your goods are locked in their homes.
Okay, so now let's go back. Let's go back to the condo. What do people do in condos? I've been stressing this, for about a month and a half. I have, right?
Yeah.
And I just really think that people in condos are sitting ducks. If this thing is, if it mixes with with the disposables, fluids, from your toilets, if it mixes with, what I recommend, guys? Let me recommend something here. I got it over here. I even brought it downstairs for you guys to see. Guys, I don't know if these things really work, but this is a Lysol puck. It's supposed to kill 99.999% of germs, cleans, and deodorizes. It lasts up to 7 weeks in your toilet. It's clear. And I have it here. It's bleach. And when it says corrosive and do not touch with your hands, I actually think it might actually work and kill germs. So this is what it looks like. This is what I bought. It was $5, okay? And it does smell very strong, like a very bleachy strong. And I think maybe, I don't think this is, I don't know. I'm just saying, throwing one of those pucks in your toilet bowl and leaving it for 7 weeks there while you flush your toilet might help. I don't know, man. And especially,
Well, it's better than nothing.
right? Especially
No
with
reason not to.
What about sharing ventilation or return or something in those condos?
Something like that is.
Well, you have a
I don't
return
know.
in the hallways, and you have in the stairways, right? The emergency stairways, and in the hallways where the elevators are. That's part of the strata, right? That takes care of that. So there's
that's
definitely
right.
ventilation
That's right.
going through there. So it's going through the entire building. So it's sharing. What do people in condos do? Go ahead, talk.
Well, I think that in condos, I think that air is filtered, because that air return, obviously some people are, cooking exotic food, and some of, you're allergic to, cologne, or to certain things that they put in cleaning products and things like that. So I think they have to actually filter the air before it gets back blown out through the system. But I don't know if it would be a HEPA filter kind of a thing. It might just be like a furnace filter. You know what I mean? It might be something that's that won't stop something the size of a coronavirus. Yeah, those closed environments are going to be a hazard. I would not be surprised if people are taping paper towel or something, whatever they've got over them, just for a modicum of protection. I don't know. I'm glad I live where I do. It's I'm glad I don't have to make choices like that. Yeah, but you've got to stay inside. I mean,
And then what do
especially
people
in
do
a
that are in
condo,
the
you're
Well, what do people do that are in those condos that have the sealed windows? Like, those all glass windows and they're beautiful
yeah,
views and they have no way
right.
to, what do they do?
Well, that's a problem too. What do you do for ventilation, right? Now, a lot of them have balconies, so they can't crack the window, right? Or the French doors kind of a thing. It's something that if you're 6 stories up, you probably don't have to worry about airborne viruses. You can crack it and get some fresh air. But for the most part, I think the initial panic phase is going to creep people out so bad. I mean, they're probably going to tape that shut too. They're just going to be, hopefully they keep the Wi-Fi on so everybody can at least play Call of Duty or something while they're killing time. Yeah. Once it hits panic phase, yeah, they're going to clear the streets. Apparently, in that area, they just cordoned off in New Rochelle in New York City.
That's right.
The National Guard is delivering MREs, like they're delivering food door to door. They're
Wow.
not leaving people to fend for themselves. Well, they can't go out. They can't go shopping. I mean, they've just up and locked down the area, just like Wuhan, right? The militia is there, the National Guard is there, and it's quarantined. So you can't go in or out unless you're wearing the appropriate gear, which absolutely no one will own, or you're authorized personnel. But they are bringing food, MREs to people's homes, and that includes things like powdered coffee and tea and things like that. Those MRE packages are pretty complete. Of course, Raven would know, or not Raven, Lord Humongous would know. He's
I
he's
have a lot of those
ex-military.
vacuum sealed packaging too in that Mylar packaging.
Yeah,
I bought it for the
yeah.
2012 crash or the
Mhm.
2012, the end of the Mayan calendar. So I have all this food servings that's good until 2027 or 2029 or something.
Well, that's pretty good. Might even get a chance to use it. Who knows?
I hope God,
Yeah,
I
we've
really hope
got
I don't have to ever use that. It goes right in the garbage in 7 years.
I hope so too. I bought some freeze dried stuff like 4 years ago because when I finally got clear of debt and I started to, dig out of the hole that I was in, I wanted, at that time I was expecting things to go bluey. In 2015, 2016, a lot of indicators were pointing straight down for a while, so it didn't look good. So it was just kind of all right. If I have to go home and stay there for a little while, I don't want to have to buy groceries. So I've got a couple of months worth of freeze dried food. Plus my cupboards are absolutely jammed. So I think I'm good for 3-4 months here if it came to that. I don't know. That should be plenty. The important thing is if they only say 30 days or whatever, well then if someone in my family runs out of food, right? It's not a problem. I can leave town, take the back road and go drop it on their front step and come back without ever seeing anybody or touching anything.
I'm just looking
So,
up My Patriot Supply Canada and see
yeah.
if they're backed up. I know they're backed up right now. Here they are,
Yeah.
emergency food. They want a lot of money, man. Well, that's 240
Yeah.
servings for $569 Canadian. So
Yeah.
let's break that down. That's we'll divide 5. We'll see what that costs per serving. Sorry guys, I'm not on my regular computer because my regular computer died on me today.
Yeah.
So I'm
Lord
really
Humongous, I heard you say you've got 2 pallets of toilet paper.
yeah. You
You
don't
know,
play with
I
Lord
see it.
Humongous when in the Humongous Wastelands.
You don't mess around with that. No. Well,
No.
here's a business opportunity for you, LH. There's not going to be any public gatherings or concerts for a while. So, you could probably get the Ticketmaster.com website because you've got about a 2-year supply of tickets there. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go with that. What you got?
I got right here $2.37 per serving. That's still not bad.
No, that's okay. It's emergency food,
Mm-hmm.
right? I mean, in the case of an emergency, it's priceless. It's like insurance, right? It's a pain in the rump to be spending that money, but the whole point is you don't ever want to have to use it. The problem with a cascading financial default with this is all the people that did pay all that good money for insurance over the years are probably going to have to. I don't know. They're going to have to come up with a plan B because I don't know if they'll survive. Because the federal government has said the HMOs, like the medical associations in the states, they're exempting co-pays for testing for this coronavirus, and I've seen on Twitter people showing bills for like $3,000.
Really?
I mean, they overcharge. It's outlandish what they're charging for it, but they're saying no. You go, and I imagine whatever your basic deductible is, you might pay it, but they're going to charge you whatever they can get away with. But no, they're going to make sure that money is not a factor for people not getting tested for this. So
Okay,
at
I
least
have
they're
it here.
moving. They're behind the curve, but they can move fast down there when they have to.
So I got Augasan Farms since 1972, 100% Canadians. Oh, okay, never mind. Due to the increase of demand, we are experiencing 4 to 8 week shipping and production delays for new food orders. Wow.
Oh, I imagine they're backlogged.
Yeah, so
There's
they
one
got.
in Calgary called Bryden for people on this end of the country. Bryden, Briden.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I got mine from. They might be stocked. So somebody over this way, this end of the country, if you're thinking of getting something like that, or if you're in southern Alberta, you could probably talk to those people. Just a heads up for anybody local.
Look, wow, I have this. This looks like thousands of servings here. This is the Lord Humongous kit, and it's
Yeah.
huge. It's like, how many servings this is? 1 year serving for 3-person emergency. 1 year.
Yeah, well, you can't rule the wasteland on an empty stomach.
Yeah, and then you guys,
Right.
hold on. It comes with mac and cheese. It comes with soups. It comes with chips. It comes with cookies. It comes with all kinds. It just enormous amounts of food here.
Yeah.
10 varieties of
Wow.
10 varieties of meals. That's not a lot though to eat for a year.
No, but if you all you have to do is go hungry for a while, and it would start tasting real good again, I think.
Yeah, that's usually what happens, right?
Yeah, goldie silver. Our world will never be the same after this year, man. We wanted a change, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Be careful what you wish for. These are
Mm-hmm.
interesting times. Yeah, and I think the Americans are behind the curve, but that's usually how they are, Mike, too. Like Churchill said about America, he said you can always count on America to do the right thing after they've tried everything else first.
Yeah.
They could produce some miracles here. We're not. It's not unreasonable to count on them and step in and make some things right, even here in Canada, because Lord knows we can't count on Ottawa to move. They can't.
No,
They
like,
can't get over the fact
country's
that.
too big to rule. Like, the country's too big
Yeah.
to rule out of the capital. We're too far from the capital. You know, the problem is if you go west of me, it becomes very liberal leftist. But then when you go east of me, it becomes from where I am at all the way east to Alberta. It becomes very conservative, right?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
it's tough, it's really tough. Like, it's tough to say, okay, well, we want British Columbia and Alberta to break off from the rest of Canada due to the lack of representation we're getting from 5,000 kilometers away, right? But the problem with that is you're going to have a portion of British Columbia that still wants to remain part of Ottawa, right?
Yeah, that's right. Well, I understand that. We're actually St. John's, Newfoundland, the other end of the country, is actually closer to Milan, Italy, than it is to us. That's how friggin' big this place is.
Yeah.
With this little population that's scattered all over it, basically sprinkled like sugar along the 49th parallels, where most of them are. Right? We sit close to the fire here. And it's not well run, and it hasn't been for a long time. That's the part that really has tried my patience for so long. We got nothing but space here, and people still saying not in my backyard, like it affects them at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just there's no sense of national identity or unity anymore. I'm hoping that this is not. It's going to be an economic disruption, no question about it. We've been waiting for it. The whole thing is fragile as hell, sitting on a quaking marsh of debt and unfunded liabilities. It's going down.
Okay.
How fast it goes, I'm hoping it doesn't go like the North Tower, you know what I mean? But yeah, we want time to get out of the way, that's all.
Okay, like, I want to ask you something. I want to tell you something, actually, of a video I brought up. Now, I want to get your response on this, okay?
Okay.
Warren Buffett was running this huge deal with this natural gas pipeline in Montreal that was going to go to the coast. the
Mhm.
pipeline, the whole big deal. They had he pulled this deal out a few days ago, last minute, because of the blockades in Canada. So the rail blockades, a lot of people don't understand this. This blockades we had the last couple of weeks actually crippled our country a lot more further. Now, Canada on a global stage to do business in is not a country
Yeah.
a lot of people are looking at to prosperous. So now, not only did we lose that
Yeah.
$5 billion deal with Warren Buffett, we also lost $250 million to pay off, I think, some tribes, and then we also lost a lot of other things, and we lost a lot of productivity that should have been shipped across the country, and we lost a lot of jobs on top of that. So,
Yeah.
all in all, what do you think of this? Like, was this whole blockade thing worth it? What did they gain from this now? Because now the rest of the world looks at Canada. Yeah, they just threw up a blockade and shut the country down overnight. We can't do business in that country. What's the deal with Canada now when it comes on a world stage?
Well, if there's the one thing is that this chaos that is erupting all over the world now is probably going to dampen that signal a little bit, right? Because there's going to be a financial instability and definitely political instability erupting all over the world to varying quantities. Okay, I'm not saying we're going to have barricades and burning cars in the streets here in Canada, hopefully, but I'm hoping that by the time this is resolved, we'll have a new government that will be prepared to address some of the issues with people like Buffett pulling out and saying, "No, I'm not spending $4 billion, especially in Quebec."
Yeah, people complain this and this and this and that about Buffett. Okay, but it's not just Buffett. It's the other investors that look at Buffett and say, hey, you know what? He's right. Canada is an unstable country to invest in.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. It's a terrible look. It's a terrible look, and our government is still in la la land. I think for this economic issue we got now, I think they pledged $5 billion, right? But they've pledged 50 for the UN and the World Health Organization. They're not Canadians running this place right now. That's the problem. Whoever Trudeau regards himself as, he doesn't regard himself as a Canadian. Mm-hmm. He's a post-national nationalist. He said so himself. Mm-hmm. Those are his words. Canada is a post-national nation. Maybe in his fevered imagination, but it's still a country to me. Mm-hmm. And I'm pretty sure it's a country to you. The point is that where we're concerned, we are going to have to do this on our own. Mm-hmm. We can't count on Ottawa. If we're still Canadians and going to identify as Canadians, then we're going to have to pull together as individual Canadians and look out for each other, because these people are not our friends. Mm-hmm. They may not necessarily be our enemies either. Their intentions are as la-la land as anything, and unintended consequences don't seem to cross their minds at all. This is something where, I hate to say it, but you're on your own. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that's just how it is. You're on your own. Because I'm sorry. You've got to take steps.
Yeah. The problem is they really ruined Canada's luck. People lost jobs. Production wasn't moving across the country, and we lost a couple of major deals. I don't see how anybody won in this. Yeah. I guess the tribes that got paid out won. I guess. I think they.
Yeah.
Okay. So now let's look. Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was going to ask you now, what's Canada's geographical challenge now with this new COVID? What do Canadians need to geographically? What will be against Canadians geographically if COVID gets bigger and it becomes like Italy? What do we kind of need to keep an eye out on? I don't know. Tell me, what do you think?
Well, the sheer fact that we're a small population scattered over such a huge area is an advantage. Social isolation, relatively speaking, at least, is a fact of life for a lot of people here anyway. Right? It's only in the larger built-up urban areas where they really are going to face a crisis. I don't think every little town on the prairies is going to have to worry about it. Okay. Because everybody knows everybody else, and if somebody's coming into town, the problem is that they still need to get supplies, so they usually go to the big box stores. So it's going to be a matter of local general stores and smaller grocers in the little towns that are They're probably going to hang on tight to the stock they have
Hmm.
and hopefully ration it. I'm hoping that people are a little more community minded in the smaller areas and don't hoard all the friggin' toilet paper. Right? I mean, if you're going home for a month and you're a family of 3, yeah, a half a dozen should do you. Particularly if you know it's got to last a month, right?
Okay, here it is, guys, live on the show. I have your answer to toilet paper right here in a box. I ordered 2 of them in for my bathrooms here in the house. Are you ready for this, guys? Here's your answer to toilet paper. No, nobody panic all at once, but here it is. That's it. Do you know what you're looking at, people? This is a butt washer. We use it in Portugal. There it is. You go underneath, you splash it, and it's actually cleaner to use this. It's better to use this, in my opinion, than using toilet paper. Right? But that's it, right there. There's my toilet paper right there.
Yeah, I'm on a delay, so it's just coming up now.
Yeah. So if you see it
there you go.
That's my toilet paper right there. It plugs into the line perfectly. It's fitted. It all goes in. It's very simple to install. And when you're done, butt sprayer. Yeah, Lord Humongous. It's a butt sprayer. That's the best thing. Someone says cold water. You know what? It's better. I'm not going to get into it deep with paper, but with paper, you're just moving shit around.
That's right. At the end of the day, yeah, you still got to have a shower. You
Yeah.
know, that's the thing too. Like, if you're usually doing that thing that we do at the same time every day. Well, just do that and then have a shower.
Yeah.
And there you go. No problem. You're done for the day. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. We've got trees. We just won't have anybody working in the paper mills because they're all home. Other than in the small towns. Of course, that's all relative. Some places aren't going to be affected at all. It's not going to be an issue. Hopefully, they took precautions. They've already done their big box Costco run a month ago, and they've got a bunch of stuff put away. If not, well, I hope to God that they're moving on it now. Mm-hmm. There's a gentleman in Toronto. He's an actor. I think, yes, he works mostly with CBC. Adam Daniel Mezzi. He has a channel on YouTube as well, and he started prepping a little while ago. Obviously, in his line of work, he's had to take a lot of precautions, but it's kind of like, well, this is what he does for a living. He doesn't have a choice, until somebody higher up gives the word for everybody to go home so that nobody loses something or loses their job. Mm-hmm. This is the problem. This is where governments need to act, because there are a lot of people, they don't just have permission to go home, right? Even you could call in sick and take all 3-4 of your sick days for the year, kind of a thing, but if it still isn't a state of emergency by, the following Monday morning, you got to go show up, or they'll consider you to be unemployed, right? Like like they've got to move on this, or at least they've got to make an order in council, right? Mm-hmm. Like similar to a presidential executive order, that anyone who goes home because of this, even the fear of this bug, is not going to lose their job. I think in the UK, they're actually telling employers that they have to give people, 10 paid days for COVID leave, which as an employer wouldn't be really good news for me. But on the other hand, it would give me the opportunity to actually call the play and say, okay, everybody go home, get the hell out of the way. This tsunami is coming through town.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you see, okay, now let me ask you this other question. We got Italy where they're at right now. Do you think it's too late for Canada to kind of batten down the hatches right now, so they don't have to be in this strife that Italy's in, or do you think it's already here and we don't know? It's gonna come. It will start showing in a week or two.
Well, I think like we were talking about last Saturday, Mike. I have a feeling, just the fact that we have all of this travel and we have tour buses full of Chinese go through, along the Trans-Canada. We've got Chinese communities in every major city, and I'm only singling them out because of Wuhan. Obviously, you've had people in Iran, you've had Persians. This thing has sprung up in Italy, but again, it was mostly people from South Asia and East Asia that were in Italy that actually came back with this thing and spread it around. Okay, so Yeah, so it's not singling anybody out. It's just okay. Well, where's the point where the fire started? I guess is what I mean. All of those areas will probably get locked down. Smaller towns, anywhere where they have an elementary or secondary school, an auditorium, anywhere where people might be gathering, on a regular basis. They're, if you're outside of the major urban centers, you're probably going to have a little more discretion. But the big cities, Vancouver, Toronto for sure, Calgary, Edmonton, Winnipeg, they better start Montreal. They better start thinking about it.
Yeah.
Like they better have a plan. They better have a set day when they're going to say, okay, everyone else is doing it. It's probably in our community already. And our hospitals are going to be overloaded if we don't flatten the curve of people showing up, because we want a chance to get to everybody. If you've only got so many respirators in your hospital, you don't want 10 people, drowning in their own pneumonia in the hallway waiting to be intubated. Like you've got to be able to handle everybody. So you want to slow down the rate that people are walking in the door. You know what I mean? Yeah. So the only real way to make that possible, other than emergency hospitals, or we suddenly have a bunch of respirators from the 60s that were sitting around doing nothing, is people have got to go home. They got to get the hell out of the way.
Yeah.
Social distancing. Well, I think it's ironic, that social distancing will be the thing that takes down a system that created social distancing, like Coca-Cola for 50 years. Wouldn't that be a little bit ironic? Yeah, everyone go home and be lonely. Yeah, and it actually crashes the economy this time. I'm not going to lie to you, my friend. I'll make popcorn and light a cigar if that happens. Because this sucks.
Big time.
I'm sorry for the people that have passed away from this. This is goddamn awful. It's just a terrible thing. And the panic, yeah, it's going to hurt a lot of people, but you know what? They need a shock. It's time to get back to reality. And this kind of a thing, sad to say, but this is what distinguished the World War II generation from the boomers. Like they were loyal and they hung together and they looked out for each other. And it's because they went through depression and a world war. I don't want us to do that. I don't want that to have to happen.
No.
But we've lost cohesion as a society anyway. Like there's just nothing to struggle for, and there's nothing to defend. Nothing worth defending anymore. Unless we find that individuals, even though the governments and the media don't preach it anymore, and forgive me for my sermon for a minute, guys, but even if they don't, I know that there's enough people out there that have got a fire burning in their soul for the day when the sun sets on this ridiculous system that we've grown up in, and get back to something like actual human interaction again, actual communities. Right? If this is the end of globalism, good God, seize the opportunity.
Yeah.
Let's have communities again, because this globalism, this obsession with 7% global growth every year, with global this and world that and open the other thing, has left the door open for this flu to come in here unabated. It's pouring in here for all we know.
I think we're going to be a lot worse off than Italy and Canada because of just the way things were handled here. I think we're very poorly governed here. So,
yeah, that's right. Yeah, 26 Gunter. Yeah, you're right. There is plenty worth defending. They want us to think there isn't. That is correct. That's what I'm actually trying to say. You say it better than I did. Thank you. Yeah, there's lots to defend, but it's individuals coming together. The social atomization was to prevent us from effectively resisting. Well, now they've got something that's gotten away on them, and I continue to maintain that this got away on them, because everyone is looking at them right now. They're looking at them dead in the eye and going, what are you clowns going to do about this? And they're lecturing us on xenophobia.
That's
you know what? Like, even the true believers at that point in time have got to be standing with their mouths open going, my God, these people really are idiots.
Yeah.
They
totally
are
out to lunch in the back. Just go sit at the back of the plane. We don't want to hear you anymore. It's getting to a point where it's like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'm going to let you
go. Okay. Yeah. We'll leave it at that. You bet.
We'll see you on Saturday on Mike in the Night, and we're gonna maybe do a 3 or 4 way call. Get a huge debate going on here. Maybe we could figure something out here.
Hey, that sounds like fun. Yeah, have a
This
virtual
this
chin wax.
Saturday we need to start talking solutions now. We know what's happening. We understand how things are falling apart at the seams,
I agree.
economically, socially.
Yeah,
It's been falling apart socially for the last 2.5 years, but now it's all starting to come together. Let's
yeah.
start finding solutions now. Okay?
You betcha. Yeah, whatever it is, guys, it's here.
Yeah.
So yes, let's work on that. Let's work the problem. We'll be like Apollo 13 with mission control there, Mike, right?
Okay, brother. You take care,
Okay.
Supreme. Thanks for coming on the show on such short notice. I appreciate that.
Oh, it's always a pleasure. Nice to interact with everyone. God bless. Talk soon.
God bless. Bye. That is our man Supremo, the Supremo Cannon. Sorry, guys. For guys, if you're just joining us, the computer that I worked really hard to build is sitting right there. I'm very disappointed, guys. You guys have no idea how disappointed I am. I couldn't. It was getting power, but it wasn't getting power. I don't. It just stopped working, and a couple of grand later, it just doesn't. I'm very disappointed, guys. You know, I need it for rendering software. I needed to do my job. Well, not my job, but my hobby and stuff and work. You know, and get things done and have a good stream for you guys. Make sure I make cool stuff. Gone. Just now I'm using this backup computer that I have to switch around to other computers so I could. Oh. First world problems, guys. Absolute first world problems. So that was Supreme Cannon, guys. All right, guys. Time to do a channel plug, guys. Don't forget to join the channel right here. Please join the channel. Support the channel. $1, I think it is, a month or something, and please support the channel. Also, guys, lots of videos I've been putting up the last couple of days for you guys. Lots of work I've been doing here for you guys. Hey, it was my birthday yesterday. Thanks for everybody that's sent me a happy birthday. I'm 42 years old, man. Vacant jobs in big cities. Australian housing story to the Australian housing story, the end. I put never ending story, the flying dog, and I put myself flying on top of it here. So the end of the Australian housing market. Goodbye. Vacant jobs in big cities. People can't afford to live in big cities, so no one's taking jobs there. No more mortgage payments in Italy because of the sickness, housing stress, sickness, and yeah, lots of stuff going on, guys. Guys, don't forget to shop at Shop Mike Martin's shop. Here it is, guys. Lots of stuff here. Lots of swag here from the Shop Mike Martin's, guys, if you can. If you want to send me a tip on PayPal, I would very appreciate it. Now I'm down a computer again. Damn it. It's such, you just feel like you lost, you know what I'm saying? Here it is, guys. Mike Martin's on Facebook. If you guys want to message me, I'm going to send you a link right here. If you guys need to send me show tips here. Show tips come here. Also on Instagram, whatever this thing is. I don't even know if anybody uses this. Guys, here's the Instagram thing here, guys. Go ahead and follow me on this if you want to send me show tips. And I'm also on Patreon, guys. All links can be found on top of the channel here to the right if you guys want to support this channel. All right, guys, that's done. We're done with the plug. Down with the plug. What were we at? Let's go over the markets right now. Right now, the markets are open for another 1 hour and 57 minutes in Australia. So we got the All Ords down 310 points, sitting at 5,478. The ASX 200 down 306 points, sitting at 5,419. Australian dollar struggling at the 64-cent US mark, especially if they inject more stimulus into the Australian market. You're going to see the country have a 50-cent dollar real soon. Oil down $1.61, sitting at 31.37. Gold down $5.60, sitting at $1,636. BTC and crypto 200 down. Australian to euro. No, oh wow, the Australian to euro was 57 cents. The NSX 50 in New Zealand is down 515 points right now as we speak. The NASDAQ was down. The FTSE was down. We're going to go to the markets that are still open. The Hang Seng is down again, 24,439, down 792 points today, down 3.14%. And the Nikkei is down 1,000 points. Let's take a look at the Nikkei, guys. Wow, it's down big time today, guys. Wow, look at the Nikkei. Woo! Let's look at the last month. Holy macaroni. I don't know how many billions. That's probably like 60 billion bucks gone right there in the last month. Woo! Macaroni. So let's look at it for the last 6 months. It was good up until, when was this? Let me get February 10th, 2020. Things didn't look too bad. It's just when it hit here. March, look at that. Like, so February 20, the markets looked okay. And then, oh, yeah. All right, so we got the markets updated here. And Matt, these markets are open right now. And let's look at the Hang Seng here. I want to see the Hang Seng real quick here. The Hang Seng, where are you, buddy? All right, here you are. Down 911 points. This is from Hong Kong. And we have to go back 6 months because they've been having this problem, with their riots. Let's go for the last year, actually. There you go. So the riots have been going on for 50 weeks now. So it's been turbulent, but this is the lowest they've been now in a while, the Hang Seng, in the last, according to this. Let's check the last 5 years. Yeah, they're going to go back to 2016 numbers. I hope they don't, but right now they're sitting at 2017 numbers in June 2017, and in the next couple of weeks they might fall into 2016 danger numbers. If you guys remember what happened there during those big riots there. So, okay, we got Stephanie trying to call into the show. Hello?
Mike, how are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
Yes, and a happy belated birthday to you.
Oh, it was just 24 hours ago. We could still accept that.
Okay, I didn't realize it, and I saw that today, and I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't even realize it was
That's
your
okay.
birthday.
It doesn't matter anymore once you pass 40.
No, I totally agree.
Yeah.
It's just a number, right?
Okay, so what's on your mind? What's going on in the economy, layoffs? What's going on?
Well, I got notification from my college. I'm actually on spring break right now. But all the students starting next week, at least for a minimal of the next 2 weeks, and most other colleges nationwide will not be going to campus and will be doing their studies online, and or the semester they'll have to make up the following classes. However, Harvard, I don't know if you saw that or not, they threw everybody out of the dorm. They gave them less than 24 hours to get out of the dorms and shut down the campus.
Mm-hmm.
At Harvard.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I got notification today from my college, even though we're all on spring break. Some colleges this week are on spring break. Others will be like next week or, whatever. But a lot of, I guess, a tourist or someone came here in Orlando, went back to Rhode Island, ended up with the virus, and it's starting to grow here in Florida, in Central Florida.
Okay.
So, actually, another reason why I was calling you is because I was in Hawaii over like the middle of right after my college ended. I went there. I went all over the islands. Obviously, there were a lot of Chinese and Japanese nationals who frequent the islands. I got there, and within about 3 or 4 days, I started not feeling well. I was very sick. I had severe chest pains and breathing, and I mean, it was like it just, I don't know. It started, they ended up saying it was some kind of foreign particles, and the local island people were telling me that a lot of the pollution from China, it's been getting more intense going all the way down to the islands, getting a lot of the Hawaiian people sick there, the locals. But what do you do? But the bottom line is I didn't feel well. So I was there for like 3 weeks. I got back to California, and on New Year's, I was so sick. I couldn't breathe. It was terrible. I had to go to the VA, to the hospital. They ran tests. They did everything. They did an IV on me. They said they couldn't figure out what it was I had. It was some kind of foreign, possible foreign pollution or whatever. A day or two later, after I left, my left eye totally swelled up. It was like, it had like an infection or whatever. It took, and it's still a little thing on it. The hospital told me they didn't think it was that serious, but um, it took more than a month for my eye to go down because of the infection. And I'm like, what in God's green earth did I come across to have this happen to me? Well, I came back to Orlando, and like within 2 or 3 weeks later, I got sick again. Um, and again, they haven't been able to figure out. The doctor said, well, you've got something on your lungs. They've ran all these tests, they've done everything. And that's when all this stuff started coming out. And I kept thinking, there's no way I could have had this. But the more I'm thinking about it, Mike, I think I did get it. And somehow or another, by the grace of God, I've been able to, because of my dieting and exercise and all the vitamins I take and the healthy eating habits I have, I feel like somehow or another my body was able to fight it off. But I went on 13 airplanes from the time I left here in the middle of
Whoa.
December. 13 airplanes, brother. Uh-huh. So what does
Wow.
that tell you? And I was on a lot of those planes, doing island hopping with a lot of other people from Japan and China and all that, obviously, because they were doing the same thing I was doing, sightseeing and island hopping. So like I said, if you can imagine going on 13 airplanes in a matter of a month and a half, I mean, like I said, I don't know, just barely a month ago, like I said, I had to be in the hospital 3 times, and I'm not a person who usually go to the hospital unless it's just an absolute life or death matter. But I'm telling you right now, Mike, I have a feeling that whatever I had, it it possibly was this thing, because that's about the time I think that when a lot of the China hadn't come out to say anything yet. But again, because all these people had come from China that I was around, in Hawaii and even California and all those airplanes, you know, not
Wow.
to mention the rental cars, the hotels, if you can imagine, because the more I've thought about it, I'm thinking, oh my God, how many people have rented the car that I rented? How many other people stayed in that hotel that I stayed in? How many other people was on that airplane or in that seat? Or, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
I
understand.
mean, it's just, yeah. So I'm, I just wanted to share that with you. But yeah, I like yourself. But then, like I said, I have never been so sick in my life from December all the way through last month.
All right.
And like I said, it's just, I'm grateful that I'm fine now. But like I said, right now the schools, they got everybody wanting to do online work and things of this matter. But it's starting. The tourists aren't that many here because obviously it's spring break. But I have not seen that many tourists here going to the parks. The parks are kind of dead right now. So anyway, I thought I'd just share that with you
No
and give you a
problem.
holler.
Yeah, no problem.
But I'm enjoying listening to your show,
I like your Skype
and
picture. I have your Skype picture. You look good in your Skype picture there. You changed it. It looks good.
thank you. I appreciate it. I ride motorcycles a lot, so not lately, obviously, but yeah. But yeah, I'm enjoying listening to your show and all the other people that you bring on. It's
Sure.
it 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 I love hearing the truth as much as all these people want to give you a pink balloon every time you turn on the news or paint some beautiful story that it's like, look, I know it's all negative, but just tell me the truth. Let me digest how I want to digest it. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah, let us come up with our opinions. Like, give us the full story, the full Monty. We're not here for half the story, or you know what I'm saying?
No, because then they endanger people's lives with this matter. And like I had told you, I don't know if you remember, I had told you that we were going to have a monetary reset and this was not going to be pretty. And that sadly, this thing was going to be going all the way until about maybe June, sadly. And right now, I don't know if you listen to Glenn Beck, but he does a show, a podcast I listen to, and he's pretty accurate. But yeah, we're about 50, the United States, including all of North America and South America, we're about 50 days behind
We
China
are.
because
We're,
now China's getting better, and you see now it's creeped its way over to Italy, and
oh,
we're
okay, hold
just
on. Take a
we're
step back. China's not getting better. China's just saying they're getting better, so it looks like they're not at fault of this. Italy is going
hmm
to be the ground zero, and so is South Korea are the ones we're going to look at now. China could go to hell.
oh,
It's those two countries, Italy and
yeah,
South Korea, we need to focus on.
yeah. Yeah, they're doing a lot of bad things over there. They really are. They're caging up their people, and I mean it's like Vietnam all over. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's Cambodia. It's very sad. We live in dark times,
yeah,
but you know what? I mean, like you've always said, we have to start being more spiritually connected, Mike. And
mm-hmm.
I think that's what the divine is trying to get our attention right now,
Yeah.
to those who are paying attention, that we need to not focus on man, we need to focus on him. And if we do that, I mean, we're all only here for a short period of time. You know what
That's
I'm
right. We're
saying?
just a little stain on this, and then we're gone.
Exactly. And so every day is a blessing that we wake up and get to take that next breath, you
Yeah.
know? So that's why we need to utilize every moment that we can to not only just to help other people as well. It's not just about I, me, my. It's about the others. And unfortunately, the central bankers don't get that.
Okay. All right. Thank you for your call in. I appreciate it. And you're welcome to call in on Mike of the Night if you want to, if you have anything you want to add.
I will. I just wanted to share that with you, but I enjoy your show and thank you very much, Mike. Have
Okay.
a good evening.
You too. Have a good one. Bye.
All right. Bye bye.
All right. There she is right there. Thank you for coming on the show, Stephanie from Orlando, Florida. And we got. Let me just move her Skype over here. Alrighty then. Good, good. Interesting trends in the housing market. We are economically talking about things, and it's housing because you're going to be quarantined to your own house pretty soon. So we got people saying my son works for a Chinese company in Dubai. He says nothing is moving in China, and they have little to do. We got Steve Stevens says the Caribbean seems like they're in the clear so far. Thinking about getting my Jamaican citizenship soon. We got Supreme Cannon says, good night, Stephanie. Thank you for calling in. Yes, thanks, Stephanie, for calling in. Chris Shaw says, Edgar Casey said we're gonna get more spiritual. Of course, we're all gonna find our spiritualness. I pray all the time. One day we'll break it down, but so RAH in the house saying, what about people kind? People kind is people toba. People toba is I'm just throwing people toba. What about Manuel? Manuel would be people well, because you can't say Manuel, right? Sound is really low. Is my sound low, guys? Is it me? Am I low? What's wrong? Sound is really low. I'm not sure why. I could turn my gain up if you guys want. Turn up the volume on the mic. Yeah, sorry, guys. Is that better, guys? Guys, the computer I was supposed to use for the show is right there, guys. I worked all the donations you guys sent to me over the last months through via whatchamacallit, Patreon. The little money I made from AdSense went to build that computer so I could stream, multi-stream, do all kinds of stuff, editing software, do all my stuff on it. It's sitting right there. I'm so disheartened with this right now. Like, you guys have no idea. I worked my butt off to get this show up and running tonight. I had to get another screen that supports that video card. Then I had to switch things around. Then I had to get another computer off a computer that I use for work. And then I had to switch that out. And then the connection didn't work. Then I had to switch out the speakers. Holy mac. It was 50 minutes of nonstop. Am I going to make this show on time? Okay, so it sounds way better now. People are saying, thanks, guys. So, okay, guys, March Madness. Let's see if they cancel that. Did they cancel March Madness? Come on, NBA suspense games, March Madness. Let's go to news. Full month of roaring crowds. Oh, no. It's going to be a different year. They're going to be playing in empty stadiums. Oh, that sucks. Because when you look at March Madness, this is what it's supposed to look like. Like, it's every college, like, playing, and it's like every member of that college is there to... It's bigger than the NBA. I know people here in Canada might find this hard to believe, but when I lived down in the States, college ball and college football was bigger than the NFL, and it was bigger than the NBA. Like, NCAA is huge. Low Roller Scratcher saying, do you think WrestleMania will be canceled next month? It will be canceled unless they move it to Ethiopia or a country that doesn't have any cases. Goldie Silver says sports is a distraction. A player has the virus, is Daniel O'Brien. NBA suspended. Yep. Oh, yeah. I got 10K in gold and silver. Is that enough? Hey, buddy, you're richer than 90% of the planet if you got that much in gold and silver right now. Oh, Evan the market guy. Let's find out what's up with him. I'm going to bug him. Evan, turn on your Skype, dude. He heard me.
Mike.
Evan, how are you?
Oh, good, man. How you doing?
Good to hear from you. I almost didn't get a show up and running today because the stupid computer died on me.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the computer played as well as my heels did today, so that's why I tuned in after.
Oh, I'm so disappointed, man. I feel like I lost big, man. The video card in there. I mean, it's not that parts are garbage, but it's just now if I got to pay to diagnose it and this and that, they're gonna just charge me an arm and a leg, and I you know what? I'd rather just buy a whole nother computer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, how old is your computer, anyways?
That computer's 4 months old.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still essentially brand new. Oh my god, it's gonna be just a diagnosis. They're probably gonna charge you a few $100 to do that, probably.
And then they're gonna probably find something that's not really wrong with it and change that too. Like when you go in to fix your car, you say, "Look, this is wrong with my car." They end up changing 3 other parts you don't need and charging you a couple of grand.
Yeah, that's gonna be that's just it, right? I mean, I don't know if you want to divulge this on air, but how much did you pay for the computer?
Well, no, I was taking it from all the money I was getting from Patreon and all the money that I was getting from and people donated it to me. So I put this thing together so it was nice and strong. It buzzes. It's a really good. The computer's like 3 feet high. It's actually huge. Yeah, it's got multiple hard drives in it.
Yeah, you're running video off it, so you need special graphics cards and everything else in there and all that.
Yeah, it's gone. It's done. I'm so disappointed. Anyways, okay, buddy. So tell us, buddy, what's going on? I know you did a few videos. What's going on? Guys, this is the McChronicle on the show, guys. Let me get his YouTube channel open here. McChronicle is a 2-time world champion.
That's right. Actually, about to be 3-time.
Okay, and here we go. Let's find him here. Here he is, guys, the McChronicle right here. Guys, I'm going to give you guys good, he's got more subs. Let's go over here and subscribe to his channel. You just did a video today, central bank rate cuts, Royal LePage doozy. And you did a video 2 days ago. The time is now, and you did one a few days ago. Canada and U.S. job reports, U.S. corporate spreads.
Yep.
So give us an insight on what's going on here.
Well, firstly, the reason why I had you called me is actually I was in the chat. You guys are mentioning the NCAA.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I can tell you with that, the ACC tournament's not going to play with crowds as of tomorrow. This is the last night they're going to have crowds.
Mm-hmm.
Although the Heels gone, it wasn't going to be much anyways. But the Ivy League didn't have a tournament, so they just said the regular season champion goes to their tournament, and that's it. And from the sounds of it, to be honest, I don't think the March Madness is going to happen. Because I was watching the halftime show of the Syracuse, North Carolina. I'm a Heels fan, as I said in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
I was watching the halftime show, and I don't know, for some funny reason, it just doesn't feel like it, that the commentators even wanted to be there for me.
Mm-hmm.
So, to be honest with you, I was even talking with a couple of the Heels fans on Twitter during halftime and everything else also, and it almost doesn't feel like it's going to happen.
Yeah, it feels like.
Yeah.
What do you think is going to happen with the Olympics in Japan?
Man, it's still so far out too, but they look to be on the chopping block right now too, it seems. I mean, again, I don't have any insider information on it, but the way they're talking and everything else, and the way the athletes are talking right now, and the way the various boards of the various countries are talking right now, I'm starting to think it's not going to happen either.
Do you think, honestly, that we're too late with this? The WHO should have jumped on this third week of December?
Oh, God. Me and you, I think we talked about this in a previous live stream, too. Oh, God. They didn't want to call it a pandemic, and then they go in for China, and they help China out to suppress the numbers, which are way bigger than what they're saying it is.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Chinese number, I'll tell you right now, I think China and Iran are both about 50 times higher than what they're saying. But anyways.
Well, I remember covering that article. They were 42 times lower than, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not far off, am I?
No, they're 42 times. Like I said, you could take what China says, take it and put it in the garbage because it means nothing.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, then, and I think Iran, too, you can throw Iran in the garbage bin also, to be honest. But that's another topic for another day. But anyways.
Yeah, but with China, because, they were ground zero with this, and we can't trust what they're saying. So, okay, fair enough. So now we're following Italy and we're following South Korea, and then things are going nuts. And then now I'm saying, okay, let's follow Iceland now, and then Iceland's going up like crazy. But Canada looks like it's doing better than Iceland. Canada's the best at hiding this.
Actually, funny enough, you mentioned that. I watch every night. Yeah, I'm a bit of a junkie for it. Chris Martin's in Peak Prosperity. He does the virus updates. Funny enough, if you look at total cases per million people, the fourth country right now, believe it or not, is Switzerland, and they're going up like mad.
Right, and so and I think Iceland will be one too because there's not a lot of.
Yeah. There's not a big population there anyway, so yeah, I mean, even if you have
but they're worse than Canada because Canada they're doing the greatest job hiding this stuff. Woo!
I know, man. Don't even start with me on that.
And just like the great job they did hiding all this money laundering for the last 10 years.
Yep. Oh, yeah. I mean,
bringing up the
recession.
recession.
On that one, but I mean, but as I said, if you look at everything going on in the economy right now, the coronavirus is the trigger, the debt is the cause. And that's really the best way you got to look at it right now.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, just keep watching unemployment. I mean, I even mentioned it. Well, I'll kind of give a sneak peek to my video today.
Mm-hmm.
I mentioned that unemployment is one of the reasons why the central banks are panicking. Because think about it. Central banks and governments have access to what data? Mike, think about this.
Mm-hmm.
They have access to the unemployment claims every time someone has to file for insurance because they've lost their jobs.
That's correct. And they have access also to, what do you call those guys? Equifax and those guys too.
Exactly.
So they know what people are borrowing against whatever or what they're applying for unsecured.
Let's hear all the insolvency data,
Yeah.
et cetera, et cetera. And they know things are even worse than they're saying it is.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the reason why they're panicking right now. And let's face it, we're in historic times because if you look at it, at least from a rate side, central banks are going into a recession with the least amount of ammo they've ever had.
Mm-hmm.
At least in 2008, they were at 5.25. They can cut to zero and buy up a whole bunch of debt, and they got out of it. But as of right now, I mean, you're cutting from where? I mean, the U.S. topped out at 2.25%, I believe it was.
Mm-hmm.
Canada topped out under 2. The ECB never got to positive territory, to be honest.
Nope.
Which is another basket case on itself. But I mean, they made that. Let's be honest. Yeah,
Like, you could see it in the bond market too. We've been watching the bond market for the last year, and you could see something's coming.
Oh God, yeah. Well, forget the last year. I mean, the bond market, the yields peaked out in the fall of 2018.
Right. Okay. Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
The yield curve inverted in the beginning of 2019 in Canada.
that's right.
The yield curve in the U.S. inverted in the middle of 2019 and almost confirmed a double dip.
Double
So
dip's
the bond market's
dangerous.
been on for months and months and months.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, let's face it. I mean, like I was even mentioning it in the comments with me and Supreme Gannon, as I told them, if RBC is saying it's a coin flip going into recession, we're going into a recession.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we are in a recession. We're heading into a depression.
It feels that way. Boy, does
Once it goes
really.
into a depression, everyone's furniture is going to be sitting out in the street.
In some places, that's what it's looking like right now.
Yeah,
Honestly, like,
definitely.
next year you're gonna. I mean, there's always a lag effect with those things. I don't think you're going to quite see that this year,
Mm-hmm.
but next year I think you're going to start seeing that. Absolutely.
2020 has been the worst year so far of my life. Like literally the worst year of my life.
Yeah, honestly, you know what? I'll put it to you this way: in 2007, in early 2007, that's when I graduated university.
Mm-hmm.
2007, 2008, 2009. Honestly, here I really didn't feel much of a thing. Like, and yeah, we had a recession. Yeah, we had everything else, but Canada really didn't have one. Let's be honest. So for me, I didn't really feel anything. I had a job the whole time. I had an income the whole time. For me, I didn't really feel anything, right? In 2020, like you're right, it just feels different. You go to the coffee shops, you go to the restaurants, which I'm careful where I go, obviously, right now.
Do you ever feel like you're not welcome in some places? I get that a lot. Like when I was living in Vancouver.
You know what? Me, I have the exact same life. I mean, there's places in Toronto I don't feel welcome. I mean, for example, the other day, I mean, I was at a bar down at the Yonge and Eglinton area in Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
It almost felt like I didn't feel like I was even welcome there. It's a place I've been going to for like probably about 15 years now. I go in there in the weekend. It's like, my God, I'm so out of place here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I can't. It's one of those things I can't really put a finger on it or can't really explain it.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those things you just walk in and you just feel it. Everyone's giving each other like dirty looks. I'm sitting around with a beer watching the game, and it's like, what the hell's going on, man?
Mm-hmm. So I got an article up, guys, and I've been bringing this up on Trends in the Housing Market every Wednesday. Canada would be in a recession without money laundering. So here it goes, guys. This is why we're in a hell of a mess with our housing market. Canadian estimated money laundering by province. So we're looking at $205 billion laundered through Canada from 2010 to 2015. Here it is by province broken down. And another article here by Sputnik. World economy would collapse if the City of London stopped laundering money, says HSBC whistleblower. So, guys, these articles are up and ready for you guys to read at any time. Guys, we've been running this economy's been run by criminal money. That's it.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, you saw it out in Vancouver a year, especially. We saw it out in Toronto. The U.S. coast saw it. A lot of Europe saw it, believe it or not, too. I know Barcelona had a lot of that money. I think there was, I believe it was Munich and Frankfurt, Germany had a lot of that money, and then London, of course, UK. Parts of Italy did. Oh God, I mean Australia, of course, and New Zealand. I mean, I can't leave them out. Sydney, Melbourne, and then Auckland and Christchurch, I believe it is, New Zealand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's crazy when you think about it. And everyone says we had this great economy the last 10 years. Well, let's face it, the middle class has really gotten nothing, and the rich have gotten everything. Like the inequality from this recovery has been unbelievable because of that.
Yeah. Well, the rich got richer, right? And there's and then the rich are just absolutely enjoying this collapse because a lot of them, you know, I'm shorting things too. I'm shorting like companies that I know that are not going to do well. I know it feels evil to do that, but you know, the market works in both ways, right?
Yep, that's what they call it, a market. And at the end of the day, I mean,
did you remember we had that conversation privately and I discussed about the stocks I bought and then you went to me, messaged me 2 days later saying they went down a lot and I said, no problem. I know. And I bought more. Look at it today.
yeah.
They bounced back like, woo!
Oh, yeah. Today was a good day for me. I can tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
I see the plumber asking about every 3 hours, but anyways.
Yeah, every 3 hours you need to update that guy. That guy needs to know what is happening. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, like at the meeting lunch, right after I finish my lunch, Steve the plumber calls me. I missed his call. Oh, damn it. But anyways, enough talk about Steve the plumber. Back to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's kind of funny when you think about it. I mean, me and you, like, we nailed this stuff 2 years ago. It's basically coming to fruition.
But you know, one thing I never fathomed was it was going to be a pandemic.
Oh, no one could have seen that.
No, I thought it was going to be, dude. I would rather believe a extraterrestrial visitation over a pandemic.
Oh yeah, because a pandemic ultimately kills people, right? And unfortunately, I mean, people have died from the coronavirus, unfortunately, and yeah, I mean, the way I see it, and the virus just a big accelerant for everything else that was going wrong. I mean, let's face it. I mean, the economy's been slowing. Like, been telling us has been screaming recession for about 2 years now, and it's just now everything's coming to a head. And all the equity guys that were ignoring it for the last year and a half, 2 years, telling us we're idiots. So like, holy geez, we're right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but isn't that the way it always works? The stock guys are always last to figure out.
Okay, guys, we got the markets open around Asia. There's an hour and 23 minutes right now for the Australian markets to close. The All Ords still down 356. The ASX 200 down 354. The Australian to US dollar is at a weak 64 cents. I think we're going to see a 60-cent dollar against the Australian dollar to US.
Oh God, yeah. If
well, the stimulus package they're going to be introducing in Australia is going to make things worse.
Yeah, I mean, you do. I mean, I don't know. I mean, what's the government going to do to stimulate their way out of this?
They're going to have to put money into the hands of the workers. That's the only way it's going to work. Roosevelt did it, and he did it. And when the Eisenhower administration did it, it worked. But they're putting the money into the hands of the corporate elites, and that's the mistake they've been making the last time. Oil down 31.15. Do you see oil coming back?
Woo! What?
Do you see oil going down to $20?
I can see it.
Yeah, well, if they don't have this Russia to come to the table instead of walking away, it's going to be hard.
As I told everyone last week, as soon as Russia told OPEC to go Stugats, you knew it was going to happen, right?
You know, Stugats is friends with Tony Di Fangulo.
No, yes, he is, and apparently he's not friends with whoever runs the oil market in Saudi Arabia. Apparently,
yep. So we got gold down 870, sitting at 1633. We got Bitcoin and nobody cares. Australian to euro sitting at 57. We got the NZX in New Zealand down 487 points, sitting at 10,386. And let's look at who's open right now. The Nikkei 225 is down 1,000 points, 5% down. It's sitting at 18,000.
Woo!
18,000. I honestly thought it was going to stick around the 19,000 mark for a while, but man, it's down in the 18,000. The Hang Seng down 887, down 3.52%.
Well, Mike, the problem you have to remember with Japan is What's the one thing Japan was banking on this year for all their growth? Think about it. It's staring you right in the face.
What did
The
Japan?
Olympics.
What did they?
The
What?
Olympics. No, because Japan's hosting the Olympics this year, right?
Right.
Well, you got to think about it. I mean, the fact that Japan's getting killed faster than a lot of other markets kind of tells you
Well, they
that the
had to
Olympics.
build and get their stadiums up to par and get everything ready for this year, and that cost billions of dollars, and they're going to be empty. This sucks.
Exactly. Exactly. I mean, we just hit it right on the head. I mean, the fact Japan is down a lot because of that shouldn't be a shock to anybody. And let's face it, the U.S. market's down 20% right now too. I mean, there's no reason that the Japanese shouldn't be down at least 25, to be honest. If you factor in all the stimulus that goes into building all the venues and whatnot, and then you factor in they built all that, there's going to be empty stadiums now. Athletes aren't going to go because they're scared and this and that.
Yeah,
One other
Japan's getting their butts kicked. Raven's saying, "Don't get excited, Mike. This ends up with a lot of dead people." Oh, I'm not getting excited like this is like I'm happy this is happening. I'm just excited. It's like holy crap! It's like they should have just let these markets reset. They should have had things like it's just Japan's getting hit hard. Okay, hold on. 2 years ago, what did Japan allow their country to start that they never had since World War II?
Oh my God. I can't remember the top of my head.
Come
now.
on, buddy. What was
Oh.
China disallowed to do after World War II, up until 2 years ago?
Oh my God. How do I not know this? We'll go for it, Mike. I'm probably going to draw a blank on this one, but
Military. Japan started a military up 2 years ago. They were allowed since World War II to start a military, a navy, and all this. Yeah.
that's right.
And that actually brought their markets got a little bit better because they were starting to get into the military industrial complex, but that
Exactly,
still
yeah.
didn't that's that now it's making it worse because now they put themselves into debt, and it's huge.
Well,
Japan,
on a further point, I mean, I even said this last week, and I'm going to say it again. Those emergency rate cuts done by the central banks just made things even worse.
Mhm.
Because at the end of the day, the masses now know how bad things are. The masses know you're not doing emergency rate cuts for nothing. The masses know they're doing emergency rate cuts because my butt might be on the bloody goddamn street in 6 months.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So this is, I mean, you know what? The one positive out of this has been a good wake up call for a lot of people. If we're just
Definitely
talking,
has.
if we're just talking not from a market sense, but from a practicality sense, preparedness, and everything else, the good thing is this has been a good wake up call for a lot of people.
Mhm.
And
Well, like I said, I think this might bring it. There might be a light at the end of the tunnel. Like I said,
yeah,
this is
Absolutely.
something, and what's really putting me at the edge here or making me feel unwell about this is that we don't have proper governance in this country right now to deal with this kind of matter. This governance that we have in Canada is more about like rainbows and unicorns parties and all that kind of stuff and parades. We're not about like true economics, true real deals, really making Canada a good player when it comes to attracting investing. We're losing big investors. How do you feel about losing that what's his name there? That $5 billion deal, Warren Buffett's deal in Alberta with the natural gas. They saw the rail blockades. Canada's an unstable country, and they pulled right out.
Right.
What do you think other investors are going to think when they see Warren Buffett pull out?
oh God, yeah, when your prime minister's too busy doing feminist conferences over the actual economy and what's been going on with the coronavirus in his own country, people see where the government's priorities are, and guess what? There's other countries that want the money more than this, and they'll get the hell out of there.
Yeah.
I mean, people aren't stupid, right? I mean, we just hit the nail right on the head. I mean, look at where this government's priorities are, and look where the money's going. That tells you all you need to know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I wanted to throw that out there too. Yeah, I'm very disappointed with this leadership. Very disappointed with, you know what I'm saying? Like I want to be what do you call it when people? I want to be a patriotic Canadian. I want to be patriotic. I want to be like I stand with the flag of Canada and this and that. I want to be a patriotic Canadian, but it's very hard, when you can't, you know what I'm saying?
No, I know what you're saying. I mean, it's a sense of if the people above you don't care, why should you?
Right.
And yeah, no, listen, I get it. I 100% get it. I mean, it's the same thing with your country. It's the same thing in sports, even with certain athletes and whatnot. It's the same thing in business with certain leaders. It goes all over the place, really. And it's a valuable lesson that
Mm-hmm.
when we look at things and look how things are going, always look at the leadership,
Yeah.
because the leadership is going to tell you how the people below them are
Do you
going to
think the
feel.
country's too big to have one leader?
You know what? I mean, look at population. What's the population in Canada? Like 35, 36 million or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's countries that have more population than us in Europe and get along fine with one leader. I mean,
No, I'm saying,
the
do you think the country's too big, as in not population, but too big land-wise? We're following orders from 5,000 kilometers away in Ottawa, and they don't have the same mandates or even the same climate we do. Like, a lot of things aren't the same from Ottawa than where we are here. Does that make sense?
you know, also think about land wise, like one person from Newfoundland to BC. Nah, yeah, I know what you're saying on that. God, it's a tough one. I mean, of course, in the U.S., there's a lot of power, of course, divvied up in an individual state, so it's more better. It's a totally different story down in the states, I guess. Canada for one leader, yeah, it's something I got to think about on that. I mean, Ontario's priorities are going to be different from, like, let's say
Alberta
Saskatchewan.
and Alberta and BC.
I
And
mean,
for
Quebec,
us to be under one umbrella with the same, it does not make any sense.
no, yeah, and then Quebec's going to be different for everybody else because you have the French language there and
Mm-hmm.
equalization and all that. And then the Atlantic Canada has its own thing going on. Western Canada has its own thing going on.
Mm-hmm.
BC has its own thing going on from Alberta.
Mm-hmm.
And then Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, and Ontario's kind of got its own thing. Quebec's kind of got its own thing. I mean, to be honest with you, it's always felt like five places in one, to be honest to me. I don't know how you feel about that, but because the way I see it, I don't know. BC
I think if Canada was broken into three countries, it'd be more competitive between each other, and they would actually go for people would be each province would be more competitive, in my opinion, against each other.
Oh, I think so. I 100% think so.
Yeah.
Will it ever happen though? It's an entirely different story.
Not in our lifetimes, no. I don't think it'll happen in our lifetimes, no.
Yeah, it's something I haven't really thought about, to be honest.
Yeah.
And really, yeah, I'm 35 now, and yeah, I don't
Holy
think it's gonna
crap,
happen.
you're half a 70.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I'm
I'm not
half of,
35
like,
yet. I turned 35 on
85.
June. I turned 35 on June 12th, and I have enough gray hairs to show them in my 30s. But
Mm-hmm.
we'll leave that for another day.
Okay. All right, listen, I got Rex Cohan on the, he wants to come on the show. He just got out of jail, and he wants to come on the show. I think he was being investigated by the Department of Treasury, so.
Oh, okay. Well, this will be interesting.
Yeah, so we're going to get him on the show. Let's find out what's going on. Hey, McChronicle, thanks for coming on again. Your words of wisdom always help out. Guys, here's his channel, The McChronicle. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm going to give you guys a link here. He's always here for us, so let's be there for him. And he's got 822. Let's get him. There's enough people here to get him over 1,000 subscribers. Easy.
Yep. And guys, as always, I've mentioned him on my channel. I mentioned it here. Keep watching Unemployment like a hawk.
Yeah, unemployment's the big deal. Unemployment's going to be the huge deal breaker.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, you have a good one, McChronicle.
Yep. I'll be back in the chat. See you, Mike.
Take care. So we're gonna get. Let's see if we can get. Okay. Here we go, buddy. Here we go. All right. Is this Rex? Is this you?
Yeah. Hey, it's been a long time. Thanks
Dude.
for inviting me to the show.
Yo, dude, I know you just got out of jail.
Yeah. Fresh out of jail, California dreaming.
So what's going on, buddy? I know you own property, or you owned property, or you still own that property in Vancouver?
Yeah, no, I did sell that, remember, about 16 months ago, but I was on your comments, and I asked a question to everyone on the chat, was that like, and now I want your opinion. Is this, and I know the Raven, he's on the chat there too, so he responded, and I'll let you know what he said. But I just want to know: is this a um, a real is this a real pandemic, or is it B? This is not so real, where they're gonna introduce draconian measures and confiscate our money,
Or rights
and
or
introduce
freedoms.
new laws like the Patriot Act they introduced during 9/11, and deeper cyber laws. They'll introduce digital currency, so there's no more paper cash.
Mhm.
To control our movement, and a social media score. So what is it, or is it both, Mike?
It could be they're going to use first. I think, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, I think what happened was that this happened by accident, and now they're not going to let this go to waste, and they're going to start
No.
implementing the final puzzle pieces to
Yeah.
actually finish their plan off. They're going to use this tragedy as a benefit for them, right?
100%. That's what I'm thinking now. I
And it
feel
is a pandemic. It's definitely something wrong because we can't go off of Chinese numbers. Where are you? Are you still in Georgia, Atlanta?
well.
Huh?
I'm in that area. I'm in that area.
Undisclosed area. Okay, I'm not gonna. We don't have to mention it. I know you just got out of jail because you were being. What is it? You were being investigated by the Department of Treasury.
Well, I was. There was some investigations going on,
Yeah.
but you also now, Mike, your chat is getting very popular,
Mhm.
and you also have to be careful of being monitored by what's up there in Canada, CSIS.
Yeah, CSIS. Yeah, we have.
Yeah,
That's like our. That's
100%.
like our
When you
CIA.
talk about the government, just like that one person did, he wrote a book about Trudeau. I think it was Rebel News.
Mm-hmm.
Remember Rebel News? Just before the election, they wrote a book about Trudeau. Uh, the police went to investigate Rebel Media just before the election.
Oh, dude, you know what? It doesn't. You know what? I'm going to be really frank with you. Everybody knows. Look, I don't have to go into people's personals or go into what people say for word. I just know we have a really bad governing system in Canada. That's all
Oh,
I have. That's all I
oh,
have to say.
okay,
Okay.
what's going to happen? Because I talked to my brother, and I talked to a few other people today. Now, the futures are down right now, like across the board, right?
Mhm.
And I think the Asian markets are
Yeah,
down.
we just
The
read them right now. They're down big time.
Yeah, yeah, Japanese markets are down. So, Canadian, when the markets open in North America, it's like a wave. They're
Hmm.
going to be down tomorrow, no matter what. Nothing's going up. But with this, there's going to be some investors that will pull their money out of. I guess, let's just focus on Canada right now.
Hmm.
Everything in Canada is in real estate. There'll be some world investors that'll pull their money out of the Canadian real estate market to cover some other projects, some other investments somewhere else in the world. Now, so the housing should go down, but do you think Trudeau will bail out the real estate market, because that's all they got?
I hope he doesn't bail out the real estate market. I hope they allow people, if they're sick or they're asked to go home, to have the holiday and then just add the months onto their mortgage. So let's say it takes 5 months to get rid of all this, and by summertime, late summer, would be okay to travel and stuff again and do stuff again. Then allow them to stay home for 5 months, okay?
Yeah.
But then add 5 months more payments on their mortgage. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Oh, but suppose a house is $1 million is
Hmm.
like the going rate in East Vancouver.
Right.
So right now, that house is probably going down a bit. I think it will go down to 650, 600. Now,
So a
whoever
forty
owns that
percent,
house,
a 30-40% correction, yeah.
and that's the max. I feel. I put that's the max. But do you think the government's going to bail out that housing market, or print enough money to throw back into the housing market, lower interest rates? Will they
I
save the
know,
market?
no, they can't. I don't think they have the money, and if they print the money to do it, it's just we're just gonna fall to the American dollar. If they
Yeah,
print that
that's
much
what they
money,
want to
if
do,
they
though.
deleverage our
Don't,
currency that
don't,
much, we're gonna lose to the American
yeah.
dollar, and it's gonna be really tough for us to get imports into Canada because it'd be too damn expensive. Our exports, like the stuff we don't use on our day to days in our houses, like crude oil. I don't see anyone using that in their house.
To
I think someone's
Or
monitoring this call because you're cutting out real bad. Hello? Rex, are you there?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, you were cutting off really
Hello?
bad there.
Yeah, I'm right here.
Okay,
You hear me?
I saw you were in it looks like a Costco in Atlanta. You were picking up a ton of toilet paper.
Yeah, did you see? I sent you a picture of my son. Did you get it?
I saw that. That was amazing, dude. It's like the whole shopping
Yeah,
cart's
you
full
should
of
put it
toilet
on that.
paper.
You put it on your show. That's my son, and his buggy's full of toilet paper.
Yeah, and I saw that, and I'm like, wow, are you gonna go TP the principal's house?
Well, I'm just preparing because I did talk to you, I think, earlier in the week, and you did mention that I'm not taking this pandemic seriously. Like, I'm not stocking up as much as I should. So I did take the initiative, and I did go out and I did buy some things. Like, I bought rice, flour, lentils. I bought soups, cans, tuna. I bought chip bags and toilet paper. And then I have a motorcycle. And then that motorcycle, if it gets into a Mad Max scenario, I got that motorcycle all tuned up, ready to go. It's not just a regular motorcycle; it's a Yamaha 450. Ready to go. We're into the mountains.
Yeah,
Who
it's
knows?
like an off-road bike.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
If it gets to that.
I got a little pocket knife I want to show you guys that I got. I got it right here. I got a pocket knife. I ordered it off Amazon, so I'm going to show you guys. It's made in Spain. So here it is, guys, my little pocket knife.
Can you send me that photo of your pocket knife? I'd like to post it on my Instagram channel.
There's my pocket knife, guys.
Because if you go to my Instagram channel, I did take a photo of a knife and I did post it on my channel.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But Mike, I need to know more details. I'm not getting enough. So,
dude, you know what, dude? Listen. Well, listen.
I think it's real, but they're going to insert draconian measures at the same time. Mm-hmm. But how real is it? I know they just canceled the NBA season. They're looking to cancel the NHL season.
It's not. It can't get any more real than this, brother. I'm sorry. That's it. When you see them closing down a multi-billion-dollar industry of basketball, just like that, just before the playoffs, this ain't a joke anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
Because there's too many elites up top that own those teams that are going to be losing. And they don't want that to happen, and they don't want to accept those people.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That they say, like this. It just can't. That means there's something that we don't know. We don't know how deadly serious it is. Who's ever telling the NBA to close the season down knows how serious this is. It's very deadly serious. Then it's serious. But at the same time, they're gonna have some draconian measures and confiscate, who knows, our money, maybe confiscate some freedoms, digital currency. How would you like that? Do you like digital currency? What if paper cash is taken away? Would you like that?
Oh no, I wouldn't like that, of course. But I'll be very frank with you, guy. I'll be very frank with you, Max. It's we're in a position of uncertainty right now. We're all on a need-to-know basis. I believe even the governance of this country and the United States, heck, even the Mexican country, the governance, I think they're not fully in the know of what we're dealing with here still.
Who's in the know? The Chinese? Maybe?
I don't know. Well, the Chinese are not in the know, but they're in the full brunt of seeing this.
And right now, is Wuhan still shut down? Because we're not getting nothing out of Wuhan.
Yeah, it's completely shut down.
Still?
Yeah.
Wow. And
I spoke to somebody there. They don't want to come on the show, but they watch me. They watch me there, and they're telling me that that I'm 100. It's a British guy who's living in Wuhan, and his roommate's from Australia, and he's living in Wuhan too. And they both watch my show, and he was telling me that, he's like, Mike, you're spot on with when it comes to not knowing what we're dealing with. Because here, he's telling me that this organization and unpreparedness is just phenomenal in there, and they don't even know what it is. and they don't. And then you know what? There's rumors going around that they don't even know how to test for it, and they're testing people positive to take them away because they're social dissidences.
Yeah, I agree. I agree to that. What's going to happen, Mike, is the government. They're going to go around, and whoever's a social dissident, they're going to say you have a coronavirus. You have the coronavirus anywhere in the world, especially Well, let's not talk about which countries. All countries are going to do that, and they're going to take those people, and you'll never see them again, including in a democratic country or a communist country. It doesn't matter, but you'll never see them again, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
Never. And all this stuff is going to happen, and what they're going to do is, suppose the government is tyrannical. Suppose they have these draconian measures. The Second Amendment in the United States is supposed to protect the Constitution, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Second Amendment actually should be the First Amendment because it protects the rest of the Constitution. But who can go out there to protest draconian measures? Nobody. You can't be on the street. It's the perfect excuse. No protesting. Hong Kong protests shut down. Those France Yellow Vests protests shut down. Protests in America, the Trump rallies are shut down right now. There are no protests anywhere now. The streets are empty. The government can do whatever they want, pass any law they want. You see how scary this can get very quickly, Mike?
No, I understand. It's incidents arousing from circumstance.
Now, I want your opinion because you're the expert on here. How far?
Expert of what? I can't even read.
No. But how far is this gonna go? Like, what's the limit about for draconian measure? Will they put in digital currency,
or will they chip us? Will they chip us?
Yeah, will they chip us? Like, how far are they gonna go? You make the call right now, and let's see in 3 months. Make the call.
Oh man, I
how
can't
far?
make that
Make
call.
the prediction.
I'll do it
Just
on Mike in
predict.
the night. How's that?
Yeah, and are you working on any projects?
Yeah, I'm working on a few projects on the side right now.
Good. Yeah, and Mike, I always like coming on your show. And now, is there anything you want to ask me about anything?
Like, no, I got your photo today. We'll keep in touch through the week.
Put the photo on your show,
Mhm.
and just so they can see my son and how much toilet paper you bought.
I'll do it, but it's on my phone through my text, so I don't have it access to my phone on my computer. And I don't know if I told you what happened to my computer today, but it's a very sad day for me. It's very sad.
Hey, is another thing is, can you put a poll up? Can you put a poll up on your on today, later today?
Yeah, on my channel, yeah.
Just say something like house like is it A, very deadly serious, the real thing, or is it B, an excuse to enter draconian measures? Because some people in your chat said it's draconian measures.
Okay,
but
I'm gonna go to the
it's a-
community right now. Here, guys, here's the community. I'll put up a poll right now. Right now. Ask your community. Okay, is COVID-19 probably cover 2? First question, first option. To introduce, you said draconian message.
Measures and like the Patriot Act, or spying chips, RFIDs in our system, social media, social credit score, digital currency. They already have will they ban regular gasoline vehicles that were made before 2010 and only have vehicles? You're only allowed to drive vehicles that were made 2010 and after that have satellite technology so they can track us. Did you know that? Did you know that after 2010 most vehicles have a chip in them? So if you have a vehicle 2010 prior to 2010, right, most likely you don't got the chip in it, right? But after 2010, all vehicles do have a certain chip where it is trackable. I know all vehicles coming on the last 3 years do.
Mm-hmm.
My wife just picked up a new vehicle. What was that? Anyways, it's one of those American vehicles. It's an SUV, and it has a satellite navigation system and all that. I drive a pickup prior to 2010. And that has nothing in it. No chip, no nothing. I do all my own oil changes, my own work, and I got my Yamaha, 450 motorbike that I'll take it out right into the hills. I'll be on the go. If I have, you know,
I
just
understand.
you don't want to be tracked. You don't want to be tracked, man. As human beings, we don't want to have a chip in our
Hmm.
system, right? We don't want to drive our car and they see us go to Walmart for what? Give us, that's the freedom. We have to fight for our freedom. If they introduce draconian measures, it should be temporary until the COVID-19 is finished. Then those draconian measures should be expired. But that's not going to be a case, Mike. We're
I
going to
know,
live.
I know. There's a
Your
lot of
children's
there's
generation, my children's generation, are going to live in a world kind of like the Terminator 2. You ever watch Terminator 2?
That's a true story with Skynet. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, with Skynet.
And
Exactly.
that company's real.
Yeah, Skynet. Basically, Terminator 1 wasn't really about Skynet, but Terminator 2 was,
Hmm.
right? And that's what they're going to live in. So, you know what, Mike? We gotta fight now. You gotta get the message out now with this one poll, and then you gotta write. There has to be a caveat. There's gonna be Skynet. This is all about Skynet, Mike.
Hmm.
All these movies that Hollywood makes. It's done
Cyberhumanism
with
and all that crap.
intelligence.
Yeah, it's gonna get. I know, I know, I know.
It's all done. It's a foreshadow. They're foreshadow conditioning us humans, to us people, to understand that this is gonna happen and accept it. Even the movies Outbreak, Pandemic,
Hmm.
the zombie movies,
The
they're
Stand.
just yes. Even but this Terminator 2 was one hell of a movie where they conditioned us, saying, "Look at Skynet." That was in the late 80s, I think.
Hmm.
And Terminator 1 was early 80s, and then Skynet came out. I mean, Terminator 2 came out in the late 80s. Internet wasn't even around. Skynet, what the hell? Because it's programming us,
Okay. All
Mike.
right. Rex, I gotta let you go, buddy. Thanks for your plug. I'll
Yeah.
talk to you soon, and we'll keep in touch. Okay.
May God bless and keep you until then.
Thank you. God bless you too. Take care. Bye. Guys, that is Rex Cohan from outside of some undisclosed area outside of Atlanta, Georgia. Get people commenting here. Yeah, and it's not looking good, guys. All right, guys, we are coming to the end. This is our 2 hours here. It is winding down, guys. I need to hit the bathroom really bad. And Terminator 2, 1991. I thought it was 93, but yeah. Deepak says, I can't stop laughing, Mike. Be right back. Quick smoke break. They are very religious. Good caller. Yeah, we get a variety of callers on the show from all over, from the lower 48 or whatever states there, Raven wants me to call him. I could call him. I have to hit the bathroom, though, really badly here. All right, let me get the Raven so he could maybe just start talking. I don't have him on Skype here because I don't know because my Skype is off. Now I'm on a completely different computer because my computer's broken. It's sitting right there. I'm so pissed. Now I'm using this clunk of crap. I can't even render video on this. I don't know what to do, guys. I'm so just upset that barely got the show up and running today. And all right, the Raven's gonna have to call me because I can't find him here. Okay, there he is. Yo, what's up, Raven?
Good. Go to the bathroom. I'll talk to these guys for a minute.
Yeah, okay. I'll be right back. Okay.
Yeah. Go to the bathroom.
Go talk.
Okay. So I got in an argument. Well, I got in an argument with my brother today, and I don't know, for some reason, when I get in an argument with him, I start to figure things out because it makes me think. China. I remember, everybody knows the animal market, the level 4 disease lab. Yeah, I'm not going to talk too much about that. You got the exotic animal market. You got the level 4 disease lab. Location. Okay. Genius. They dumped it at that location. We'll all argue back and forth. Was it the lab? Was it the animal market? Was it the lab? Okay, we've gone through that already. Yeah, that was genius. Location. Their architects did a good job on that one. Then I was thinking today, and it came to me. the way that this virus has come out, they had to choose China. It had to be China. It had to be a communist country. They needed to have a savage response. It had to be a super savage response to the virus, welding people into their houses, pulling them out of the windows of their cars, and it had to be seen by the countries. They had to bring in incendiary containers. They had to put conspiracy theories out there that bodies were being burned. They had to make it scary as hell. They had to. So we'd take it seriously. So we wouldn't meet at events. So we'd shut down borders and air travel and air traffic, because there's a lot of people saying, hey, just go back to work, man. It's a cold. They knew we wouldn't take it seriously unless you can get a communist country where you can muscle your people and beat the shit out of them in front of an entire audience of the world to scare the shit out of them, so that you can bring this over here and we can carry on the crazy shit, because you're going to need to knock out our economies too. You can't just knock out China's. We can somewhat be self-efficient, you know? So, and for them saying that the central banks are panicking, they're not panicking. They're throwing their interest rates away. I've been watching those people very closely for a lot of years. Every single move they make, every story that comes out on these people, I watch how they hold their interest rates and release their interest rates. The 7-year 0% interest rate, people say that was a monetary policy mistake. It wasn't. They were inflating massive credit bubbles, getting us ready for this day. They wanted us all in debt servitude. So now, the Bank of England threw away 0.5% today. The bank in I think it's Iceland threw away 0.5%. The U.S. is going to throw 0.75% away in 2-3 weeks, or on March 16th. But that's gone. Paul's Bank of Canada will follow suit. They're throwing away their armor. They got nothing to fight this thing off. And they're going to pump so much money at this, so much money trying to buy all these businesses to bring everything. They're going to blow the system. They're weakening themselves. They're walking into battle with no shield. They got no armor on. They're throwing it away. This is a planned event. I know there's a lot of you in here that understand exactly what I'm saying. Exactly what I'm saying.
Okay,
if you
Raven.
watch them, oh, sorry about that. I've had a lot of
Don't be
Pepsi
sorry.
tonight.
I'm listening to what you're saying here for the last 30 seconds. I'm gonna throw 2 words out there that's gonna save this, and I need you to really listen.
Okay.
Hill dog.
No.
Sorry, I just had to break it up here a bit. It got really serious.
You said that. Oh, it's an accident.
I think it
They
was
had
an
an earthquake.
accident, to be honest, and I think they're running with it now.
No, you've been watching these guys. You know what these guys are capable of.
No, I know what they're
Look
capable.
at their history.
Honestly, I wholeheartedly know what they're capable. But I honestly think that they didn't intend for this to happen like this.
They're
It's
probably
incidents
listening.
arousing from circumstance. One thing leads to another, and now they're just gonna take it together. They're gonna basically.
No. You know what? I value anybody's opinion who has an opinion. At least they have an opinion. And independent thought is a great thing, because we can bounce ideas off each other. But a lot of people don't agree with my opinion. That's fine. I spend a lot of time studying these people. It's been an obsession of mine for many years, watching these people. It's like a police officer chasing down a criminal. And after 10 years, you're going to tell me the guy's got an alibi now and I can't arrest him? Not a chance. These people are going to look what they're doing. Like Supreme said, this is like one of the worst things that can happen to this world. And this is all just for an alibi for you? Like, really? You're going to kill 100 million people. You're going to infect this whole world. You're going to crash it. The pain that's going to come from this, so they can walk away with the wealth of the world and mold this world. And they're going to get about 75 agendas completed off this coronavirus. The world is putty in their hand.
Okay,
Police
Raven,
force,
I believe
okay,
what you're saying. It's not a thing. I wholeheartedly believe that this happened by accident, and now they're taking it and they're running with it.
No, these guys don't run with nothing.
No,
these
you
guys
know why?
plan,
Because I don't think they're
prepare.
that smart or that.
I do. You know what, Mike? I'll tell you something. I'm just an average guy. I make an average salary, but I know that I have the mental wherewithal that I could start an entire hidden agenda myself.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how big I could get it, but I could do that myself. These people have the wealth of the world. I watch different companies and management and stuff like that. And I watch these people and I see what they do where we work, the smoke and mirrors they pull, and the hidden objectives, the hidden agendas that these companies pull, and the conspiracies that float in the middle management, upper management. I see it. You can magnify that thousands of times when you own countries and printing presses and death squads and all kinds of other items. These people, this is what they do. And they train their kids as their kids grow older to take the reins as they move on. They've been doing it for a long time. These people are smart. And I don't believe that the whole cabal is in on it. I believe certain levels knows certain amounts.
Dude, our government has no idea what's going on.
Oh, I don't even think Trudeau knows there's a virus.
Who's Trudeau?
I don't even think he knows there's a virus.
No, I don't think. You know what it is? I have a feeling that we are not in the know, and I have a feeling that a lot of people up top have no idea what's going on. They have no idea if they're tricking or treating. They have no idea. Raven, believe me.
You know what? You might have
missed.
They
don't know, and why a majority of the world is in the dark with this. Like, I mean, a huge percentage of the world is because this came out of left field. We knew the markets were going to come to an end. We knew that things were going to collapse under its own weight. We knew that there was a lot going on. We already started with a really rough 2020 kickoff. 2020 has been the worst year in history. Now, we're in a position right now where it's gotten so bad that we don't even know where to turn anymore. Because now celebrities and other people of importance and people in cabinet members and stuff are going to get sick with this. I honestly think, Raven, that they have obviously it's a man-made virus because it passes through animals to humans, right? I understand that this was geo-made or in some sort of laboratory. They made a model of it. They understand the proteins. They understand how it's I understand. Yes, it's a weaponized weapon. Yes. I honestly think that it just got out just like Lyme disease did and other diseases got out, like by accident. I didn't think they expected it, and then now that it has, they're taking it and running with. They're running with this now, and they're adding this to their playbook as like, here we go. It fell right on our laps.
You know what? No, we used all our coincidences up for 9/11. Not taking them anymore. You threw a couple at us for the Epstein murder. Not taking coincidences anymore. That doesn't fly for me. Does not fly.
No, your
economy was months away from collapsing. They injected 150 billion into the repo market today, and in the article, they're quoted as saying, we're doing this to help the coronavirus to make sure there's money available. No, how about you're doing it because you screwed the world for years and now you're getting caught because your system's plugging up.
Right.
And then Trump says today in his live speech, this is not an economic problem. Yeah, okay, try put some more psychological words in our head, Trump. Best economy ever. Best economy ever. Mm-hmm. That's what we'll remember when this goes down. But the economy was the best economy ever. No, your economy was diseased and dying. I was waiting for it. It was coming. It was coming quick. We didn't have much time. It had to be released during the Lunar New Year so the students who flew there for New Year's would fly back. It's been all over. That's not a coincidence, Mike. There's no more coincidence.
No, I'm not saying that this was just I'm saying that this thing getting out, I think it honestly, and I'm going to stick to my guns for now, that it was a mistake. I honestly think I think maybe they were planning on using something like this over time when the time was right. But I think, why in China? Why in Wuhan? Why, like, there's just too many unanswered, there's too many unchecked boxes here. And that's just, it's happening. It's here now. It's done. The argument of whether it's an accident or not, we can move that we can look at that down the road after when the dust settles. But now we're at this position right now. Now, what happens next? They're canceling NBA games. There's a lot of elites that own these teams. You got all these other elites that are in these upper levels that are going to be hitting, their pocketbooks will be hit. Hello? Hello? Raven? Oh, Raven put me on hold. He's probably taking in a call from somebody else. So anyways, let's go back to today's markets and where they're sitting at. We already discussed this 3 times today, but we'll go back at the markets. So the Australian markets are closing in 41 minutes, and it's been a terrible, terrible day for Australia. Share markets plunged to 2006 lows. The All Ords is down 410 points and 40 cents. The ASX 200 is down 409, sitting at 53.16. The Australian dollar is 64 cents. You will see a 60-cent Australian dollar, guys. Oil is down 31.46, down 152. Gold is down $6 at 1636. Bitcoin is taking a hammering right now. So is the crypto 200. And the NZX 50 is down 496 points. And who else is open right now? Oh, the Nikkei is down 1,000 points. And the Hang Seng is almost at 1,000 right now. So government has announced a $17.6 billion stimulus package, but that hasn't stopped the ASX from continuing its huge sell-off. So it's the Australian Stock Exchange, guys, is in a heap of trouble right now. And I wanted to throw that out there because it's the only markets that are open right now are the Asian. Are you there, Raven?
Yeah. Sorry about. I got called to work.
Okay.
I got called to work. Sorry about that. I got a couple hours though, so it's okay.
Okay.
I'm not in a rush.
All right. So I was just reading out the markets and what's happening and stuff like that. All right. So is there let's save some of this for Mike in the night because a lot of things will unfold by then. You know what I'm saying?
There's one thing, Mike, that you missed because I think you went to the bathroom. I was explaining to those people. I realized this today. They picked China not only because of the close proximity from an animal market to a lab. That's great. That's a great thing. That's going to make us argue where it came from all day when it was introduced from another entity. Mm-hmm. That's a great thing, eh? You can never prove that, But it's the fact that it's a communist country and they can beat the crap out of their people and the draconian measures and they can really scare the world. Because if the world doesn't take it seriously, it's not going to have the desired effect of shutting down industries across the world. People have to take it seriously. That's why people were getting welded in their houses, in their apartments. That's why people were being pulled out of their cars through the windows. They showed it. I mean, we watched it. That's why there were the furnaces they brought in, those 20 containers, burning bodies. This is so serious. Scare, helter skelter, crazy crap. That panicked the world. We will take it seriously now. Now, if this had happened in like Canada, we'd be walking around going, "Oh, hey, buddy, I got a cold, eh? I got a cold." We're not going to take it serious. What's Trudeau going to do? No,
we don't have governance in place to deal with this, right?
You can bet Xi Jinping is in on this. He also was elected. He's never going to not be president. Netanyahu back in. Putin just got another. These guys are all in on it. And they're all presidents for a long time, which brings me to Trump. What's Trump going to do? What's he going to do? I don't think there's going to be election. I've been researching the Emergency Act and all of the stuff that they can do. It's a time of war is how he can suspend the elections. It's a very difficult thing to do. I don't even know if there's been an actual an example of it, right? But I think something's coming up. You might see a small gauge. Something's going to come up. I believe the Fed is going to be ended off of this. We're going to go to a digital. They're going to say, because the money blew up and all that, there's a lot of big changes coming from this, and you're going to see them all. Huge changes. I don't think there's going to be an election. I think he's going to suspend it and oversee the bankruptcy of America and probably help bankrupt some of the other countries and help them through it. And I believe the Fed will be ended because of it. Digital currencies will be implemented, along with about 75 other agendas that they'll put in, like police states, non-public gatherings over 50 people. They got carte blanche, man. They're gonna do whatever they want. They're gonna mold this. They're not gonna let us sit for 20 years in Japanification, slow growth, while people with 20-ton carbon footprints keep melting the ozone layer in the atmosphere. They got too much stuff melting in the Arctic. Look at 11,000 scientists. We got 12 years. And he pulled us out of that Paris Accord. That was a smoke and mirrors to make it look like, we don't care about climate change. It's very important to them. Very important. They're going to cull the herd with this one, but it takes food distribution being shut down. That's all I had to say. That's all I got to say.
All right.
I respect your opinion, though. That you know what, you might be right. Could be. Nobody knows for sure. I'm just throwing my opinion out there. But it
Don't
had
worry,
to be
that's
done
fine.
in
That's what you're here for, right? So, I'm not here
As
to
long-
criticize what you think, or I'm
No,
here
no,
to listen and to understand what you think, and that's
You-
what we're all here
you
for,
kept-
right?
you kept a straight face when when Mario was telling you 2 times 2 plus 4 equals 36, and that's why it happened.
I know.
You kept a straight face. I was impressed.
My hair looks real too.
Yeah, from way over here it does.
All right,
But,
Raven, get your.
Yeah, I gotta get. You know what? I stayed up since 9 a.m. this morning. Now I'm gonna go drive a train for 10 hours.
Nice.
How's that for a day?
Must be
Yeah.
nice.
All right.
All right, you
I'm
stay
curious.
out of jail, okay?
Okay, we'll talk to you later, Mike.
Bye.
Bye.
That is the Raven coming on the show, giving us. Ooh, he just sent me a picture of something there. It looks like a shopping cart full of tuna. Anyways, guys, I got a lot of things. I'm just so down with this computer being broken right now. I have this I plugged in a computer I need to do my home business. Now I got this. I think it was $1,800, $2,000 hunk of junk sitting here in my office here, and I'm just not in it. Luckily I got the show off today. We had a good following today, guys. I appreciate that. I'm tired. Yeah. I'm tired. Trends in the market. Trends in the housing market. We try to keep it on topic. Trends in the housing market, guys. We discuss obviously housing, and we discuss employment, unemployment, job cuts, economies, economic differences in economies between countries and what's happening. Yeah. So, anyways, last plug for the channel, guys. Don't forget, if you can, please support the channel. I'm going to need a friggin' computer. I just put this up for you guys here. Is COVID-19 probably a cover to introduce draconian laws? And 64% said yes, and 36% said no. That was put up 22 votes 22 minutes ago. Go ahead on the channel and vote for that. Guys, if you want to join the channel here, please do. We have a few people that have joined the channel that are commenting here live. Don't forget to shop Mike Martin's, guys. Don't forget to shop Mike Martin's. All kinds of cool stuff here for your day-to-day. And if you want to shoot me a tip on PayPal, if you want to message me on Facebook, if you want to follow me on Instagram, if you want to support me on Patreon, go ahead and support me on Patreon. And I still have people on Patreon, which is nice, and that helps out. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and be part of the all this noise. Mike in the Night. This Saturday, guys, don't forget to join me. Woo! Mike in the Night this Saturday, guys. Mic is low again. I don't know what's wrong with my mic, man. Oh, you know what? This computer used to do this. That's why I stopped using this computer. Every time I had a guest on, the microphone would lower or something, and then I wouldn't go back up or something. Yeah, I had this. That's why I stopped using this computer. I was having microphone issues. Anyways, guys, thanks for listening to me yawn. Lord Humongous wants the Mike Martin's Big Boss shades right here, guys. I got my shades right here. There it is, guys. There it is, the Big Boss shades right here. Yep. All right, guys. Thanks so much for coming on. Have a good night. Stay strong, guys.